Alright, here we are with Godbound, Evicting Epistle, Season 1, Episode 8. It is October 2018. I am Devin, the referee. To my left, we have X playing Y.
Tyler playing Mateo.
Kevin playing the Crimson Marquis.
Peter, also Zazel the Goat-Headed.
Mark as Lothar.
Now, I'm going to tell you a secret, listeners. You listen to Episode 7, and we're on Episode 8 now, and it's the same night, and Nicole is still sick. So it's not like 2 weeks in a row she's sick. It's the same night, and we had a lot of extra time. So that's why she's not here. She's actually in the background. I have my eyes on her right now. She's waving at the mic, but this is a audio-based medium, so you just can't see the waving.
You can feel it.
Yeah, if you heard that, that was Nicole. She's got a frog voice right now because she's sick.
Just make a play Toadbringer.
I knew that was good.
My God. I hope the mic picked that up. Anyway, gang, recap what happened last session.
We killed the Breaker. 2 bits.
You finally killed a breaker all on your own without being punked from you.
Also, we kidnapped a woman against her will while she was unconscious and brought her back to our magical city.
Yeah, that's
in our
not
defense,
really,
we killed her first.
That's not out of character for this group.
I mean, I'm a dragon. That's what I do.
Like, if she was a child, it would be, like, spot on. You guys just
she was just born. Well, reborn. That's sort of a child.
We had this entire conversation about ethics and morality, and everyone agreed that there is no such thing as right or wrong, and that it's totally okay to kidnap people.
Also, we brought her back to a guy who just, said they were, together, so...
We believe them.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sure he was a nice guy.
We've never been lied to before.
No one's ever lied to you before,
He
ever.
can't. He's
Twice.
from Minnesota. How could he be lying?
He's not from Minnesota, he's just from your village. It's a regional dialect. Like screamed hams.
So, yeah, that was literally all we did.
Since
Murder and then kidnapping.
Yep. So, what are you guys up to now in your castle made of laser lights?
I guess we're heading to Manticore.
You want to head deep north to the northern coast for Manticore.
Yeah.
This Groven woman can't make her way back home alone, so we're gonna, chaperone her.
Best that Manticore has to offer.
Do you, call her in?
Yeah.
Alright, she enters your, vampire god, room. I just imagine it looking like Castlevania with, Atlas Shrugged architecture everywhere.
Just looking at it.
Don't fuck with dice!
She walks in. They take a glass and break it. What is a man?
Don't
What is
break
a
my
man?
silverware. What the fuck?
I can repair it.
Like in, I Want to Be the Guy, where he throws a glass and he can kill your character instantly. Alright, Brinstar is there. She's kind of standing around awkwardly in this giant catacomb citadel in the middle of your city. Where, pink neon, parfait-colored lights are going on in the background. It's eerily nighttime.
So, you're still here, which leads me to assume you're fine with us escorting you back home.
I assumed I was, prisoner of war.
Oh no, we don't do kidnapping.
Are we at war?
Are you
He just kind of
gods?
stares at it.
Gods like going to war. That's why they started the Great War.
It's more of a side project.
So I just assumed. She says with a beer can in her hand.
No, you know what they say about assuming.
Wait, what was that?
You were always free to go.
Oh, okay. Alright, I just don't want to push my luck and find out that I was being escorted to my, nice little guest room.
Oh, it's understandable. The implication was always there.
Yeah, the implication was very strong. Nothing bad would have happened, but why would I say no just in case?
Exactly. Your freedom of choice, which is what our city is all about. Now, can we give you a lift in our, kitten?
Yeah, okay. Is that the ship you're flying back in? It looks a little low tech.
Start punching her.
Well, the women in the machine gave it to Mathiel, so blame them.
I wasn't blaming anyone. I was just unsure that it would survive the trip.
Well, we can all just fly.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to risk the kitten.
on our simple trip across the Icelands that we've largely. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. She takes out a processor computer. She taps into it and stuff very briefly, and then tosses it to the Crimson Marcus.
Okay.
So you're gonna want to fabricate those, and I'm assuming you're energon fabricators, and just plug those into the kitten's transmitter array. The kitten exists, right? It's a ship, and it has a transmitter array.
Yes, I don't believe it's solo tech that would not have those.
Yeah. All right. So those will give the proper clearance codes, so you aren't hit by the glassing fields.
Oh, excellent.
The glassing fields are in bloom right now.
Marquis goes off to fabricate.
Well, we wouldn't want to be hit by the glass fields.
Yeah.
Lothar
I'm
says.
assuming you're running on an energon reactor.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You definitely want to keep that in the glassing fields. Will target that.
Do you have any idea what she's talking about?
I absolutely do.
Good.
Just a quick gut check. So I did a little reading in the Bible that was included in my guest suite. You're obviously some sort of goat goddess that's tied into the other goat god, right? And,
Not at all.
and you're a vampire plutocrat,
Yes.
and you're some sort of cultural hero. And Thea's the nemesis. She kind of makes that, as we all know, motion. I just want to make sure none of you are Faust related, right?
Oh heavens, no. That's
Okay, because the overrides I gave you will not work if you're Faust related.
very smart.
Yeah, there's you'll find out. You'll see. You'll like it.
So don't bring your birds around there, or their wings will just give out. Just smack into it like it's a Windexed window.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go. How soon do you want to leave? She says, looking to the captain.
I think the
Is that
sooner we could drop you off, the better.
Like a day, an hour, this minute.
I'm fine to go whenever. I have
Good to
nothing
go
better
now.
to do.
Let's go. All right. So now.
Yes.
I'm gonna drop a deuce then. I thought I could get a little more hammered here at your bar, but okay. Meet you there.
You bring the bar with.
I don't like her.
What a charming lady.
Soldier.
I watched some of those old movies about that were recommended by some of your. I was wondering why you didn't have an oversized pipe organ.
Oh, I don't keep that up here. That's in the lower levels where I keep my.
Your coffin.
Yeah.
Your sarcophagus style coffin. Megalite comes out drilling on his guitar.
Yeah, it's a little too gauche for the upper levels, the secretarial levels.
You see.
All right. Well, you guys all. Who are you bringing on the kitten?
Small skeleton crew, just enough to operate it. Not actual skeletons.
You got to be specific.
Yeah.
I was also picturing that.
Fucking
I'll,
Magi Koopas.
I'll take a group of cue card carrying evangelists.
Yeah, some of your cult members. What do we use? Zazel.
Some younglings, some broodlings, in case we run into some trouble, I guess.
Okay.
Swarm.
Vampire man.
A representative from each of my clans, like the 3 vampire
You should
clans.
name them and give them personalities.
The representatives?
Yeah, they're people.
Well, I can come up with names for them.
Yeah. What clans do you have so far?
I had the names written down. 1 second.
Well, you got the plant vampires, right?
Yep, and the city vampires.
And the city vampires.
And the
Anything
vampire vampires.
else? Vampire vampires, right. And they're like full-on Castlevania nobility, right?
Yeah, they're literally, they all look very similar to the Marquis.
Very good. Good. Cool. You should make a clan of vampires that have like blue skin and are kind of tall and broad and stuff. And I'm making a reference to something that doesn't exist. It's amazing. But we'll move on from there.
Not with like shiny and Mormon.
This guy wrote a novel about vampires. It was really bad. It's this whole thing.
Why would I base it off that then? If they're bad.
It's like the Luna Lord in Stars Without Numbers.
I don't want
Yeah.
that.
What's one of it is that?
It's one of those stories. One of those magical tales.
Katnos, Valerius, and Sewell. Sewell's the city one. Valerius is the vampire ones. Katnos is the plant ones.
Yeah, okay. Cool. So yeah, they're all on board. Does anyone bring a guy?
Not this round. I think they need a little bit of time in the city before we.
Yeah, did you guys bring an Acer in?
I kind of assume there's always just one swarming it on the ship. Like, he just never
We're just
leaves.
swarming around.
I'm bringing my first mate, Rufio.
Rufio?
Because-
Nice.
I expect that we may need to leave the kitten at some point, and I want to make sure it's in good hands.
Yeah, what's Rufio like?
Um,
If you don't tell me, I'm going to start filling in with the regional dialects.
You don't want that.
No, I'm not going to make him Dante Bosco.
good. He's a dashing kind of debonair, swashbuckling sort of pirate. Smooth operator.
Alright.
Also, I can say, as far
Is
as
he classically dressed, like from the past, or does he has like future stuff, modern stuff? What is he like?
He dresses from the past.
Okay, because he was going to dress like Han Solo until you said that. Yeah.
He's got like the flowing black.
Pirate's coat with like pistols and guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright.
He's very much into the whole pirate aspect of being a sky pirate.
Perfect.
yeah. Also, the diplomat from Clan Valerius is literally just Prince Sebastian from Vampire Lacroix.
Vampire,
that's the name.
the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yeah, he's literally just like that.
My fellow kindred.
What a pity.
Is that giant gargoyle motherfucker with him?
Probably. That'll be
I
his
didn't know
own
that was an
guy.
actual vampire clan. The giant gargoyle fucking sheriff he has. It's like an African vampire clan.
Chiropter, yeah.
Yeah, they're like bat monsters. They're like gargoyles, but
Yeah,
fucking
they're-
buff.
Yeah, they're bat werewolf kind of things.
They come from the swollest vampire jungles.
Swollest, yeah. I'll have to make bodyguards for them.
Like the Emperor's Guards, the ones that get the Pillarman theme.
Yes.
Anyway, so Rufio, Lacroix,
Lacroix and the two others.
no one. Okay, you pile onto the kitten. Brinstar is there. You fabricate the parts you need to hook up to the transmitter. It starts giving out a signal. The signal, you know, because you and Azazel were fucking around with this. It has a distinctly part of the signal seems to be kind of related to some of the iconoclast stuff you were dealing with.
Disturbing, but it makes sense that they would be harvesting that.
Yeah. So, you guys take off and start heading north, like almost straight north, too. Norther than you've gone, actually. Like, no one goes that far because it starts getting incrementally colder. Pardon me, because that's near where the edge of the world and the Shemzeroth wastes are.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to act as an amplifier for the season that passed through. So, it's snow. It's coverage, it's hills, it's mountains. It seems fairly calm, but then as you keep moving through and like things start coming into focus, there's like a large wall of storm where you're going. It's you've seen it in movies where there's like a storm front coming in and it's just a big fucking wall of not okay coming forward. That's what you're flying up into to get to where they are.
Okay. So Sky wants to clear this.
Oh yeah, you got Sky.
Yeah, I do. Do we want to clear this though? Is it a threat to us, or can we sort of like
With Sky, you can insulate your ship from it.
Okay.
If you want to start clearing it out, you'll quickly find that there's something overtly supernatural about it. Like something's projecting this, and it's not all the way like snowstorm, like weather. There's something degrading about it. There's something that's
Is the
condescending
field
about
was
it.
being mentioned?
condescending. Very good, Kevin.
I don't think
Condescending must be the Tolerites.
All right, I'll make a little bubble of weather and insulate the ship.
Yeah, like a thick skin that goes over it, like a zero skin. All right. You punch it through the storm wall, and it's very thick. It's very dark. It was daytime, but once you go through, it gets like instantly really dark, and your ambient lights kick in, and like there are sensors built into the kit that kind of compensate. So if you look out the window, even though it should be dark, it kind of gives you a bit of clarity out for only so much before the storm is still there. This storm wall is pulsing. When you go in, it's giving off strobe lights on the inside, like big, bright, not all quite synced up strobe effects. Like there's something going on the inside. Not like lightning though, like lighthouses almost.
Should we check it out?
Oh, this is just everywhere on the periphery. Like there's hundreds of them, and they're very bright. They're almost like bombs going off. After a while, you start to see shapes and shadows in the storm. Structures. Large stone and metal pillars that are kind of like, what do you call them? Those like pyramidal pillars, like an obelisk. Large obelisks built out of diamond and crystal that are giving off these bright flashes. And the flashes seem to... It doesn't create shadows in the storm or of your ship. It kind of highlights shadows that don't... of things that aren't in the area. Like, almost like there's like invisible or ethereal things that gives off shadows for them. So it's like you're moving through like a party and strobe lights are going off and you're seeing the after images of things.
What are these? This is powerful magic.
Is that woman in the same room as us?
Yeah, she's on the, bridge? Viewing room? Where are you guys? Crow's Nest?
Bridge.
She's on the bridge. She's smoking. It's an e-cig.
This is what they mentioned. Yes.
The look on Tyler's face is amazing.
Disgust.
Slap. Use a pipe.
You're saying?
If she's here, well, we're not going to bring up the summer thing, but the scratch technology testing.
Something. Or do you say it to her?
I'm going to bring it up to everyone, which doesn't make sense because actually
Texting on our phones?
Well, it's not something that they're keeping under wraps, so it's not something we need to be quiet about. It's just, is this weapon testing, or?
Oh, it's not weapon testing. There's no testing involved. We already did the testing. This is bait.
Bait.
You'll see. We're in the periphery right now. Once we get into the minefield, you'll see.
You mentioned something about Faust.
Well, that might have been a bit of a misnomer. It's very specific about Faust.
Interesting.
Larger shapes start showing up. Like, these are big structures. Like, you know how big Hoover Dam is?
Yep.
Hoover Dam style, like, just mega structures that seems to have been, like, just put up here in this storm. And they're big, they're gothic looking, and they're all, like, carved metal and stone statues of, like, infant faces, like almost like, you know, old-style gothic angel designs where they have cherub-like baby faces, and their mouths are open, and this smog is pouring out this kind of wind, this chill smoke, and their eyes are giving off that strobe light.
Okay.
On the ground, like at their feet or below them, or kind of in between, like multiple statues of these, you see crashed saucers.
Iconoclast?
Yep. There's like clearly Manticore like branded and logoed equipment over top some of the crash sites, and people like in hazmat suits carving through them. In one of them, you can see like some skeletal figures being dragged out in chains and being like shocked and being put into vans. Every once in a while, a pulse like rifle goes off, like one's running away and grabbing someone, and it's being like brought down and dragged away. Something like that.
Lothar surprisingly does not care.
Iconoclasts are so alien, they're barely people, so...
Ship just continues through. It shudders a bit because there's a lot of damage in the area. Like, space around here is injured. That snow that's been falling, that storm, has quickly given way to, like glass. Like, it's cold enough that the actual outside of structures are actually forming into, like, strong double-plane glass. Not ice. Things are getting, like, crystalline and weird and stuff.
We continue.
Yeah.
So now that I have that knowledge, do these lights seem similar to anything the Iconoclast use? Like, is
Yeah. They're guide lights.
Huh.
Yeah, we figured they'd be too stupid to understand what a bluff is. When would they run into it?
They really don't seem like a species who would lie. That doesn't seem like in their...
Well, they lie all the time. They're petty assholes. I've had to interrogate a few of them. But They didn't quite catch on that this wasn't their home. They thought it was a new forward base. And then we captured a few of their leaders, took in a few of their high-ranking officials, and now they have to rescue them, and every time they fail, we take a few more.
Renewable resources.
It's a pitcher plant.
Explains how you've made such strides in advancement compared to a few of the other.
Easy peasy, you just have to declare a racial war. They come to you. You should try that with your breaker problems. They'll supply you with all the organs you need.
We do have quite a few of our own as well. That is a thought.
Lothar likes to hunt, though, and we wouldn't want to take that away from him.
I thought that what the Marquis meant, we have quite a few organs of our own.
But we actually do.
We can grow more organs.
We literally stole all of the breaker's organs. They're in jars.
Yeah, after a bit more flying, it takes a while. This is a huge area. They seem to have expanded out and set up these outposts around, kind of turning in this permanent kind of weird ethereal fog, this shadow within shadow, folded space kind of area. Eventually you get to the HQ, which is one of the mountains they've totally converted into like a arcology silo. Big stone structure, permanently covered in glass and crystal and ice. A lot of those lights going off. There are circular cuts in the ground where silos clearly are that are like, they're not opened, but you can see that they're heated and stuff, so there's nothing building up on them, and they'll open kind of like a spiral, and missiles could come out, or batteries, firing batteries. The area around this place is a work camp. It's big, blocky factory structures where you can see welding going on, sawing. You can see parts being brought out on sleds around from one factory to another, covered in tarps. And there's fields of finished ground tanks and hover machines and stuff.
Quite industrious. And very fast.
We had a lot of material. That's why we chose the rocky north. There's a lot of material up here, and if we get here before the Brass Kingdom exists, we can just mine it out.
What's the Brass Kingdom?
A bunch of fucking dwarves. They live underground and built brass towers outside of the mountains. Fuck them. We'll use that for our fucking heat sinks.
But they don't exist yet.
No, it's gonna take forever. Dwarves don't even exist. You don't even know what a dwarf is.
Given our interference, they might never exist.
Oh, big loss. Bunch of drunken beard people. Oh no. The uniqueness of Fui. What will we do without them?
And they're dead, bee people.
Pardon?
They laughs and nods approvingly.
Right? What was that, Kevin? I thought you said something.
Oh, I forgot what I was saying. Never mind.
But yeah, there's full industrial complex built here. That looks like they jumped up a tat tree.
That's worrisome.
Yeah. The one on the ground is lighting up like a sort of land here area.
I guess this is where we're going.
Yeah, you land out in the middle of the storm. There's a firewall bubble to keep out the elements. Snow's blowing, the ice kind of, glass, crystalline snow is still going. And Brinstar's gonna leave. Thanks for taking me here.
Oh, yes, I suppose, is there a guest area or someone?
Oh, someone will be around to say hi.
Oh, excellent.
We have first contact processes. Anyway, thank you for the lift. Keep it sleazy. She just sneezes.
If you didn't like that one, you're gonna have fun here.
I still like them more than the Jolarites.
That's a wise position.
She said the gods started the war.
She did say that.
Fuck that chick.
The gods started the Great War.
Yeah.
She's a grunt. She's stupid. So it's
How would she know any different?
people are only as smart as the people who teach them. So
But yeah, you're on the ship. Do you deboard?
Yep.
You're in the middle of a large helipad. There's a firewall in the area, so the glass doesn't come, but there's still like blizzard running, wind's going through your hair and stuff. It's all very foggy and blizzardy. There are lights everywhere, kind of like bright white, kind of strobe lights to kind of illuminate the area. You still see those shadows. Sometimes you see like the ghosts of shadowy people moving through you, like they're after images. Eventually, an elevator opens up, and a man, actually an elf, a Fuite elf. So tall, dark hair, eyebrows, eyelashes, but no other hair because elves have no other body hair except for where they have body hair because D&D's dumb. Ascends up from an elevator platform, like kind of built into the helipad.
Let me ask an obvious question. Are elves a thing?
You don't know what a fucking elf is.
Alright, so it's like, Hyper Elf, quickly!
He looks like a tall boy with like pink skin.
Doesn't
They
look
look
like
nothing like Hyper
They look
Elves.
nothing like Hyper
Never mind.
Elves.
Yeah.
He's a tall boy with pink skin. He's wearing a black business suit with a white like vest underneath and a red tie. He's carrying a briefcase.
His name is Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, that's literally what he is. That's literally 100%. You know, he has like his hand up against his like, you know, face and hair walking towards you in the storm with the briefcase.
I think I remember that
We'll meet him
specific
outside.
picture from the first World War.
Oh,
What were you saying?
We'll meet him outside. He's not coming on the ship.
No, he's not going on this shit. That's a hostage situation. Right? Crazy.
so assuming I know this guy, because I this.
It's Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Hey there, Mr. Johnson.
Hello there, new gods.
Hello, I see your projects have seen fruition.
Manticore is committed to following through and upholding the excellence that our progenitor mother corporations have always stood by. He has like data jacks and like cybernetic cranial implants installed on him that kind of beep and light like old 80s tech.
The Marquis is very comfortable here. This is exactly the kind of stuff he was involved in.
Yeah, you probably were part of old Manticore. This is a newer version of it. Manticore falls and re-rises with the ebb and flow of the aeons. It's been around for 15, 20,000 years.
Seen a few of those iterations.
The original version of Manticore was a red dragon's hoard. He kept employees as his stash. Only a red dragon could invent capitalism. You should come with. We have some exciting opportunities here at Manticore for the rugged individualist and freelancer among you.
Perfect. I guess we come.
Oh, you steal from these people, don't you, Mattiel?
I sure do.
You steal from these people all the
I
time.
really don't like them.
Yeah.
Have they even seen the ship around, like robbing them?
You see one flying airport, you see a million of them. It's not like it has specific IDs on it or barcodes.
You file those off, right?
We change them all the time.
I probably filed those off the bicycle frame.
Just change the flags, nobody will know. Okay. We go in out of the blizzard in somewhere more comfortable.
Yeah, he takes you a lift. He takes you to a lift to a nearby kind of watchtower. Like it's like an airport. You know, you have the tower that kind of watches over at the airport gates.
Yeah.
So it's like a sort of white and neon, almost lounge area with like couches and tables and chairs and people serving stuff. There are large windows all around, like a full wraparound UFO-style window, so you can see the blizzard outside and look at your ship down there, and look at the construction happening, and you know the comings and goings of drones and like flying sort of satellite probes. And like that howling just like it permeates this place. It doesn't. There's no soundproofing for it. It just keeps pushing through. It's not super loud, like it's quieter in here, but
Don't
it's...
think those are birds. Up there, the ones flying around. Are they made of metal? They have metal birds?
Type 4 harvester drones. They have rudimentary VI and feelings involved, so they can feel you know, pride in their work.
I'm sure that's why.
So he sits down at the table. He orders something from the There's like a dwarf behind the counter, like a dwarf woman. She's a dwarf from Fantasy D&D. She's in a bar, like modern, like, you know, airport hostess outfit. Like just, you know, clothes. He orders a few drinks. He sits down with you guys as that kind of goes off on the outside. So, you are here at Manticore. I trust it's not simply to drop off one of our Type 4 soldiers.
Well, that's a start.
I certainly can't say we would waste your time and ours by simply to drop off someone that we could have an escort take here.
It's true. There's no monetary value in it. Type 4 soldiers are insured against Manticore in the case of dismemberment or loss.
Wise indeed. I'm good to see that Manticore is still covering their bases, as we all should in this trying new old time.
It's just like old Winthrop said. Wealth beyond avarice. Money over morality. Power without thought.
They're so honest. It's great.
Oh, Demon, you always know where to stand. So.
Lothar quickly pulls out like intro to philosophy and ethics, where it says this is not correct, basically, and just sort of looks back at him, looks back at the book, and.
So help us help you. What manner of things can we do to bring our relationship to a more fruitful?
We have many clandestine operations that you can exchange for social credit to improve your link with this faction. If you're willing to get your hands dirty, so to speak.
Oh, I'm certain that he just kind of accesses his phone and taps into the video we just did of us getting our hands very, very dirty to whatever uplinks around. We are more than capable
It's on the
of getting
table
our hands.
when it shows up on the table as a video. Perfect. We do have wet work available, and they're worth a fair amount of reputation. Once you move away from negative to neutral reputation, we can open up many services and vendors with you.
Negative. May I ask what we've done to...
All factions start off at negative reputation in a new colony scenario, as it's hard to know who to trust when you're just getting off on the right foot and starting the resource grab. It's merely a formality. It's how new games start. Simple reputation, wet work, gifting, alliance work, or improving of social link through meaningful interactions often increase this fat reputation very rapidly.
You're bringing down my rap.
There are things, of course, that will reduce your faction. Break a few eggs, and you'll often find yourself not allowed in corp sec space. Piracy, theft, destruction of property, breaking of alliance contracts, not fulfilling wet work or jobs within the time frame provided by the Mr. Johnson also tends to hinder these growths.
Piracy. I see. Well, we certainly wouldn't want to do any of that.
Wouldn't imagine.
Unfortunately, we don't know any pirates.
Right?
Of course.
Well, do you have a dossier of possible...
What I can do for you is one step better. We should circle back to any dossiers, because we can provide you a much better service. For an introductory assignment, what we can do is set up a forward embassy in your main faction city. And that would allow trade between the two individual entities and do passive boosting to your reputation gain. And allow sort of, background exchanges. It would also enable you rapid contact with us and allow us to trade favors, trade resources, and contact us if you ever want to pay reputation or physical goods in exchange for assistance.
Vigorously shaking my head.
Can you also there was an embassy here?
Of course, once your reputation has gone into reputation value 1, away from negative and neutral, you'll be able to establish an embassy here.
Ah. He puts away his dragon wealth.
It does leave us at a disadvantage, however.
Well, generally, what's he trying to say? Non-enlightened factions tend to start off at a disadvantage in these types of scenarios, just because they don't have access to the same sort of interlaced social mores that the other ones do. We know the Julius Annor Collective. They're a known entity to us. We understand the levers that they want pulled and pressed to manipulate their philosophies to get what we both want. Same with the Unity, same with Nocturnus, same with the Helldivers, same with the Women of the Machine.
Hey, Marquis, aren't you for the future? Don't you have an account with them?
Oh, well, of course, the Crimson Marquis. I didn't joke. Of course, the Crimson Marquis, if he was his own faction, the Marquis Vampire Blood Empire, on its own, would count as an enlightened empire, would have access to all the same, we'll call them factional racial bonuses that are applied to the other society factions. But because he's thrown his lot in with new gods from the past, he of course gains a neutral factional racial bonus, while pulling out some of the negatives you would naturally gain if he was comprised of non-future dwellers.
See the sacrifices I make for you.
He even has like a screen that shows up on there that shows like if you were to construct your own faction, Stellaris style or Civ style, how you would like, you know, add in different perks and negatives to get more perk points.
I would indeed love to set up a embassy or a chapel here myself for my own people.
Well,
Separate from the
that's
others.
complicated. You are already part of an existing faction. You would have to break your ties with this faction and declare yourself an individual entity.
Indeed.
And we've gotten information about your city as recently as 5 minutes ago. You're very much entwined with this entire organization, it would seem.
If we must do something, as long as it is not too abhorrent, I don't agree with this whole corpse sex thing. I think that's creepy.
So, are we hearing that you have no work?
Oh, we have plenty of work. We just have a few introductory assignments that you might want to take. Move up that reputation, get into the neutral area. We can open up more jobs for more of our departments. The various departments have sort of non-disclosure existences that disallow them from direct interactions with outside entities, of course. We wouldn't want our people socializing outside of the base. But, show that you're of like mind, we'll be able to lift some of those restrictions. Maybe bring in different classes of Mr. Johnsons. I'm Class A, highly disposable. In fact, I was created by several thousand other generations of Mr. Johnsons, one after another, to keep myself completely karmically disassociated from the corporation itself. Meaning, most divine or supernatural or sorcerous miracles that affect me would not have a sort of karmic balance that could ricochet back onto Manticore operations.
Ever?
I think until we sort out we are currently in the process of an immense immigration to our city. It would perhaps be best to leave the embassy until once that is settled down. However, we would gladly work on assignments that are less social-based at the moment.
Well, one of the main assignments that Manticore has been seeking is we are actually looking for a specific type of resource from Old Epistle, or New Epistle, depending on your context.
Do tell.
There's a war going on. Manticore, as a faction, has declared war against another faction. Total, negative 100 rep, not really going to ever moliate.
May I ask which one this is?
The Iconoclast.
Excellent.
During turn 15, Manticore declared total racial war against them in exchange for several perks from various other factions and resources and technologies. And this allows us to establish several other installations that allow us to bring them in and harvest them and convert units we capture into resource points.
I'm glad to hear it was the Iconoclasts.
I mean, that's a good start.
So what is this resource?
Iconoclast.
More of them.
More of their units would be perfect. It seems that the current clan we've been encountering has run out of units to send to us. And seeing as the leaders that were originally captured that draw in that clan are the only ones we have, we would need more to draw in another clan.
I mean, you could breed more.
No, that's not how they work. We explored that avenue.
We need to get a different kind of bait.
We just need another iconoclast of high enough rank that'll call in that subset of its fractal clan. They work in a very complicated social network. But if you encounter one on your travels, bring it to us. We'll trade it in for reputation, physical goods, capital W wealth, reality parts. We have stockpiles.
Okay.
The nature of our various technology investments means we don't quite need reality parts as crucially as other factions do, making us ideal allies as new gods are hungry for those.
Certainly. I mean, that's definitely something we can do.
Any opposition?
Feeling iconoclasts? No. They seem like no ethical dilemmas for them as prey.
Ensuring the erasure of the entire iconoclast clad or clade will help prevent one of the main endgame scenarios in this current deployment.
What's that scenario?
The iconoclast gained a cultural and technological victory over the Epistle, destroying the gods, upending the core of the world, and enslaving or consuming all races.
Do the iconoclasts enslave?
Oh yeah, all day, every day. They actually have a natural, spell-like ability for it. You know the ones for Independence Day where they grab Brent Spiner's throat and speak through him? They do that all the time.
Blink.
Oh, I thought you were asking out of character.
No, that was in character.
Oh, in character. Do they enslave? Oh, heavens, yes. At a rate much higher than some of the other entities in the area.
Well,
The only other ones that are matched are the Pinnacle Elves.
we can certainly, do that shadow run for you.
Wasn't there something you wanted to get out of these people
Oh.
besides just rap?
Yes.
Yes.
They tricked you with rap!
I mean, that's another. I also want a side shadow run or perhaps something else. Well, I'm looking to gene splice my race and pull up one of the broodlings around
Quaid!
to make it more draconic. And I'm looking for more technology parts to help it. I don't think I could purchase it from you and play up my wealth 10 of Dragon Horde. Or do a shadow run.
That would be acceptable. We have something we can trade you, and we probably have some of the technology you need. We've been very specialized in integrating different clade spiritual genealogies. Very interested in pursuing that tech tree. We probably have several advancements you would appreciate.
Well, we can certainly start.
Alright, we're back. So, what was the last thing we were talking about?
I was proposing to either spend wealth 10 to buy the tech I need for my project, for my things from them, or get a separate shadow run just for that.
Well, I mean, or this shadow run, right? Like, we're doing them a favor. We're doing something for them, and we're going to get something out of it besides just
No, but see-
goodwill.
I'm not sure they're...
They'll take the wealth 10 as a gift to boost you out of negative faction status.
Okay. So again, what will count as an adventure so I can do this thing?
Well, first give them the wealth 10.
Okay. Sure. I'll do wealth 10.
Alright, so Mr. Johnson takes your wealth.
Yeah.
You just hit on a thumb pad and over on a shipping crate outside, just fills up with silver.
Sure.
Ah, very good. Look at that! Your gift to this faction has increased their standing and changed their disposition towards you. You'll now be able to do further quests, give better gifts, and ask for different favors from them. He says to you.
Okay.
Oh, Azazel's like, oh boy. The floor around this remember, it's like a flying saucer shaped room, like a airport kind of control tower. The floor nearby, that's in a crescent shape, kind of opens up, and a stall rises up with someone behind it. They look like a halfling woman, and she has a series of screens and small models of things, weird little curios and stuff, and she's just sitting behind the counter tapping her fingers.
I guess the converts see what's in there. Should we look to...
Hello there, you're a dragon. I've read your file.
Yes, partially.
That's interesting. We haven't seen the dragons we're used to yet. Have you ever heard of something called the Dragon Saint?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. That would be very interesting getting a hold of him when he shows up. Very interesting, but that's just idle banter.
So, what do you have here to offer?
We have various items and resources available to people of high enough faction standing in exchange for reputation credit, company script, or trade.
Well, what do you have?
She brings up a list, magical artifice and items that they've collected, weaponry, field units that you can just buy and conscript, slaves.
It is a neat little package.
Vehicles of lower tech levels that they're willing to sell and stuff, like groups of boats, like sailboats, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I look at the just out of curiosity, what is the lowest available, the generic unskill taken from this time period slave?
They don't really collect a lot of those. They sell people from their own company on company bonds.
Of course. What do they cost?
Well, it depends on what you want to pay in. You don't pay with money, but you do. It's wealth 3 or 4, depending on the type of unit you're picking up. They have colonists, they have entertainers, asterisk, they have soldiers, they have builders, they have specialist researchers, archaeologists.
Okay, just curious. Lothar, it's literally against his religion as well, not to do the slaving thing.
Oh yeah, well, it's part of their game plan. They get a faction bonus for it.
Sorry.
So, you're looking to help with the, Mr. Johnson says, the Dragon genetics, right?
Yes.
We have a local breaker we'd like eliminated.
Perfect.
We'll give you a name and location, you go take it out. We don't even want any of its parts, just make it go away.
Okay.
And I'll just forward that info to you, and I'll give you that after you're done meeting here.
Sounds good.
Anyone else?
Who else want to shout around?
Crimson Marquis,
I suppose I wouldn't mind improving our relationship once again to what it once was.
Granting reputation should be fairly easy if you want to do a reputation-only mission.
Certainly.
If you could bring us any of the iconoclasts, that'd be our top priority.
Certainly.
Fair enough. That's just an open standing quest, no time limit.
Very well. Whenever I find their tech or anything, I will look into funneling some of it to you.
Perfect.
I have a question about your organization.
Sure.
If someone wanted to leave the employ of your corporation, how do they pay you something to do so, or?
Employees looking to seek greener pastures have to, of course, pay back their various health insurance, living expenses, and boarding costs that were associated in training, raising, sheltering, protecting, biologically and spiritually enhancing. And then once they've done that, we'll terminate their exclusivity contract and they can become free agents. We have many members that have done this.
I see.
But there are very few that pursue this option. Many, of course, prefer the structured, logical, and fulfilling life inside the Manticore corporate arcologies. Corp is mother, Corp is father.
Do you ever make arrangements to...
The Hobbit and the Dwarf both mouth that as well, just kind of rolling their eyes in like a fun way, like, oh, he's saying the nursery rhyme.
Do you ever make arrangements to allow churches and outreach programs from other ones? Could that be arranged through trade?
Yeah, I suppose that we could definitely look into setting up worship camps.
Not worship camps. Yeah, that's not exactly what I had in mind, but I think that's a point for later negotiations.
Because you spend time worshiping, that's like work, so people need to get paid. It's not slavery, it's wage.
No, I was thinking more of a potential small church where eventually we would teach the lessons, and then one day as a potential, if they wanted, they could leave and pay the money and go.
Once they're comfortable sending their people here, or like to our city, whenever they want, they can just go to the churches there. Like, just we'll have evangelists like around the
Yes,
city.
I suppose. Just a thought.
Anyone else have anything further in these negotiations?
Where are your caravans? We'll protect them. What are your deepest fears?
Do any of you have gifts for knowing Mr. Johnson's fear?
No?
No? Okay.
Beep, beep, beep.
Beep, beep, beep.
I mean, that is a thing. I think
That's probably from deception or fear or something?
fear, actual, like, I think one of the lesser gifts for fear. I don't have the PDF for those.
Knowledge gives you like thing that people least want you to know.
Yeah.
My lord, I have an excellent microphone assistant. What I most want the least is never do a bad job, but always a good.
I mean, this guy's just a throwaway person, so it'd be kind of pointless to figure out what his
Alright, he's
fear
totally
is.
disposable people.
Command can give you the one that gives you command structure
Yeah.
and knowing sociological implications you need there.
Wait. I think there's something about fertility, actually. There's something about important people to them and so on, but that doesn't...
He's built to not be able to be severed alignable.
Plus desires for knowing what he wants most, which is just a gift. I don't think it even
Kill
takes
me,
effort.
kill me.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point in using anything like that on him, because it's like, he's not really bribable, because he's a Mr. Johnson who's specifically designed to give out tasks, and probably doesn't have any real wants or needs of his own.
Yeah, if this was like an old, like, maybe early 2000s, late 90s Civilization game, this room you're in with the different, like, kiosks and stuff would be like the stock, like, GIF, like, on a loop room where you go to meet with this faction and, like, different kiosks would open up as your rank went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to talk to anyone actually important until, much later.
Yeah. So let's not antagonize them and take our shadow runs and go fulfill them.
Oh, regarding your request for Iconoclast, dead or alive, is there a preference?
Oh, definitely alive. It makes the vivisection much easier.
Excellent.
Okay.
Unlike Nocturnus, we are not the most we are not the most bleeding edge with reanimator tech.
How
We
would we
prefer to do our
reanimate it?
transplants from living specimens.
Even if I bring them back to life, they're not truly alive.
Lothar will peruse very briefly over the artifacts, but he probably won't see anything.
Magic items and stuff. There's low class like magic item mechs available, like ones that are godwalkers. There's
No capital A stuff, but those are definitely not things you sell. So
yeah, you don't really sell artifacts. They're far too valuable. This is stuff they've captured from killing breakers and stuff and like destroying nearby enemy outposts.
It's like if you just get in a bit, you can make your own artifice.
Yeah,
it's
buying them
tailored
for
to
money
you.
is sometimes nice.
Sometimes.
If you want 800 suits of magic armor, it's like, well, we don't have that, but we have a bunch.
oh yeah, the +5 returning javelins.
Yeah,
That was the
all that
one.
shit.
That sort of thing.
Minor magical items. Okay, yeah, I think we're done wrapping and going back.
Yeah.
You want to stop by Faust, I guess? On your own? Then?
Sure, or we
Want
can
to
do
get
it
some
later.
McDonald's on the way back?
McDonald's.
We'll start the church.
Food at home.
Start the church at McDonald's.
Orders a single coffee and drives off.
At this faction level, you're available to start setting up an embassy in your city from us.
As I said, we will consider that once we are finished with our current immigration round.
All right.
We ran out of green visas.
Basically. City is actually at capacity.
I mean, just, extinguish some of those non-people and bring some actual people in there.
How you liking that, Mad Idol? How you liking this faction, Mad Idol?
I'm not
Why
the
do-
biggest fan.
Why don't
I
you
mean-
dance for the Matt Tyan?
Everyone needs a Satan figure, and that's one is yours, maybe.
Oh, speaking of which, Mattel, I have an offer for you that we should speak of once we're back in the city.
Sure.
It isn't much, believe me. Just a little thing.
Just a prick.
So yeah, I guess we'll get out of there, and once we get out of range of where we're probably not being.
Mr. Johnson gets up, shakes each of your hands, and then, as you're leaving, he opens his briefcase, puts on some mirror shades, and as you walk out there, you hear a gunshot.
Disposable people.
Probably not even a soul.
Oh no, definitely has.
Oh,
We're
goodness.
gonna harvest them.
I mean, it's an asset. You recycle.
It is an asset, and they do recycle assets.
Waste not.
Once we are like well out of like.
Like you go down the elevator, you go back up. And if Thea was here, she'd start taking control of these elevators and let you go into secret places.
Check the ship for bugs.
So you two could do it if you really wanted to get loose in here. Start fucking around with them.
Artifact override. Nah. Let's
I'm
not
on board.
tank our reputation yet.
The reputation we are already the negative for.
No, you're at the neutral now. You paid money.
Oh.
That's why you
Right.
set up an embassy. You got to neutral.
Yeah. Once we're in the like higher, then we can start breaking little things. So the negative reputation loss won't bring us into like bottom out.
Yeah, Mr. Jones will explain. There's two different reputation systems they run on. There's reputation score and reputation tiers. So score goes from 100 to negative 100, and the tiers go from like negative to neutral and then positive. But each tier is exponentially harder to get up to because, it's different access you're given to the society.
Yeah.
So like it's easy to get. The gulf between tier 1 and tier 2 isn't that bad. Tier 2 and tier 3 is much larger. 3 and 4 is even larger, and 4 and 5 is even larger.
And by the time you're 8, you're like the greatest heroes of the Republic and basically more.
Well, like if I were to give an example, tier 4 might be 80%, rep score, and tier 5 might be like 95%.
It's never 100% because that's like over 51% of the shares.
Exactly. Tricky stuff.
So when you want to hunt them down, let me know.
You get on the kitten and you leave.
Yeah. As we leave, I'm going to use my camera phone to like take pictures of the defenses.
Yeah, go for it. The kitten could have been doing that the whole time with surveillance. None of this stuff was top secret. It's just out in the open.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that we were kind
The
of
kitten's
on the
eyes
periphery.
open up.
The front has eyes, like key eyes.
Yeah.
So saith the Sphinx.
Let's see, like cat bus with like
I had thought of establishing a church as a potential means of escape, but I see that they would it would either be slaves forced to worship, or they would simply not have the opportunity to reach anyone. It seems would be the.
I mean, they're deeply ingrained in their culture, but definitely having some embassy there and place of worship definitely could be useful.
Don't worry, we'll burn them to the ground later.
I mean, the
Good luck with that. Oh, Matiel, that offer, by the way.
Yeah.
As you're taking off, the kitten takes off. You can see it now better that the storm's clear out. There's actually large scaffolding being built, like they're building a new facility. It's large industrial scaffolding around what looks like a rocket-shaped fuselage that they're building stuff onto. And like it's being contained around like shielding and stuff. At the top of one of the elevators, as you're getting out of this area, there is a humanoid figure in a lab coat that has half one of those masks bolted into his face. And one of his arms is much longer and gray looking than the other, and it has like clear stitch marking on it. He's just looking with his hands, kind of across with a clipboard in hand, and just kind of looks up at you as you're taking off and leaving.
So, Matiel, we need a face for the city. Thea prefers to work behind the scenes, as do I. Azazel is... Azazel.
what's wrong with that?
Oh, are we talking about this?
Bum.
I mean, I'm not saying he is not a charming individual who throws wonderful parties.
He's a good god.
But one who eats his own children is not exactly the face many might approve of. Well, depending. Some of them may. And Lothar is charismatic amongst his own people, but he is very much representative of the past and the hopes and dreams there. You, however, are liked by both the past as a freedom fighter and the future as a talented dancer. You look very much like one of the favored races of the future. And
In the
additionally,
past, you look like a strong Che Guevara-style freedom fighter. From the future, you're an adorable little pop star. Yes, you are. Look at your little furry Ugg bootlegs.
actually,
the voice of Danny DeVito.
Let's turn you into a cam girl.
Oh no.
essentially, what I'm asking is, how would you like to be the face of the city?
I think as long as I'm a face and not a mask.
Yes, it would be everything about you, your hopes and your voice.
Put a mask on a stick.
He kind of holds out like a voice recorder, I'm asking, give a sample of your voice and a scan of what you look like, and I will be able to turn that into a face for the city. Someone to answer questions, to show people as... I'm not going to say a mascot, that is terribly condescending, but...
They sound fabulous.
kind of someone to look to.
Avatar.
An
An
avatar.
avatar, Acer Face says drunkenly.
Yes. Would you agree to that?
Let me think on it.
Of course. It would be friendlier than the current eyes in the sky that are
You mean
more
the
my forte.
red neon eye that's looking at you and it says, keep quiet?
Yes.
I mean, no offense, but I've seen the things you make.
He just kind of points to the Valley Girl vampire in the background.
Yeah.
The city,
I
the
used
beautiful
to be-
city.
I used to represent gods once, you know that? Acer says drinking his spider honey booze. Yeah. That's all they needed back in the day, good old Acer. And,
Crawls all the way down his throat.
You need to put a face on it.
So I would be the face of the city, what people interact with.
The one that draws people there.
And who would be speaking through me?
You. It would be your voice. You wouldn't have to speak every single line, of course, and I could run them by as approval for you. It would essentially be an avatar of you telling people of the wonders of the city, why they should come here, why they should defect from places such as, well, Manticore.
In that case, I accept.
Excellent.
I'll
Please.
take your hand.
Yeah, he shakes your hand, holds
grab
out the
the
microphone. Just speak a few lines, and I'll work my magic from there.
A quiet flight home. That's what occurs.
Is it actually quiet? There's no horrible thing that happens?
No, you just fly on home, you're talking about what you want to do next, you dock in the city, and you guys can do stuff around the city if you want some days to pass and stuff. Precious time passing. Not the same 3 days for the past 3 sessions.
The Marquis is going to go deal with this new virtual intelligence he's going to create, which is... I don't think it's even a Dominion project, it's just a alteration
It's
of the
just
city.
you flavoring the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of having the faceless man in shadows going, there are threats that are real. We will not let our freedom be disrupted.
Yeah.
We keep you safe. This city is the only thing that's real. Everything else beyond it was a dream. Instead of him, the default avatar that came with the city that you built.
Yeah.
That's Mathiel saying the exact same thing.
That combined with like the dreamlike state of the city, that'd be really unsettling.
Ever
Jesus.
telling you all the time that all your experiences outside the city were fake and this is the only real thing ever that happened?
Yeah.
Because everything else sounds so ludicrous.
Yeah.
It's unnerving. Plus of all the drugs in the water. And the food.
We
and
don't
the
talk
air.
about that.
And the subliminal light priming. And the fucking power lines people are living under.
The lighting is definitely designed to keep people calm.
And the magic, fungus bees and the fungus. And the bacteria. And all the things in your city that make people a little strange.
Just comfortable, and plus all the faceless NPCs walking about, literally.
The certain phase, the mutants. Yeah, good times. Cool.
Yeah. So not long after that, a version of Mathiel pops up around the city, talking about freedom and friendship and...
Cheerful freedom fighter goat girl.
Yep.
Far less imposing.
Though still creepily dreamlike in how she talks.
Yeah, it depends. There's always that kind of mist aspect to it, that blurry sort of outline.
Mm-hmm.
You got people from Derek Show that just moved here.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool, actually.
Some of them don't want to live next to that sinkhole of evil.
It's like 10% of the entire colony.
Oh, wow.
That's substantial.
They're like, what? We're going to live here where our god is. This is basically the holy city. Why would we not live here? This is like Elderguard. But for you should give this city a name, God. They say in voice chats they send you drunkenly at 3 a.m.
Your prayers.
No, they prayed you, but they also send you drunk Snapchats.
That's
You should call this city a name. You get a good name like Elderguard, but not Elderguard. It's already taken.
Somnus or something. I'm going to start looking up different words for dream.
I'm going to...
Other than the city,
Yeah.
or Dark City, which was the original name.
After a day or two of thinking about it, it says, well, my followers have made one request. Apparently, if you name something place freedom, it automatically is terrible.
Oh yes, we're
It's
certainly
almost
noting
certain.
that.
I don't know why this is, but this is apparently a rule across the realities.
You're so much your worshippers, all Matt.
What did they say?
That whole thing I just said about naming it a Vatican City.
Oh, we're working on it.
The Dericho people that moved here, 10% of the entire colony moved here to be closer to you. That whole thing was about you.
Yeah,
That whole
we're naming the city.
Would you like me
We're
to have
going
someone?
through a process.
No, sorry. Would you like me to have someone study your ways and reply to them, like a personality to reply to on your website that I made for you?
I'll actually just get one of the pirates who I trust to do that.
Excellent. Are they literate?
Some of them are. This one will be.
Yar, yar,
The one I
yar.
choose will be.
I mean, I took your best one, and now he kind of gestures to the facility where he's making those swords still endlessly in an endless stream.
One of the outlets created a GeoCities account and a MySpace page for you.
There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, your worshippers are moving in because they just don't want to not live in the holy city where you are. You know, that seems really dumb. What if a monster attacks? Now you're right here. It's perfect.
I'll spend some time amongst them. Make sure they're getting settled, moving in okay.
They have a lot of baggage. Some of these people are like 900 years old and have been killed over and over again. Some of them have spent like 1,000 years trapped in their own matrix simulation where it was only them because they got forgotten on an old hard drive somewhere and it only took the apocalypse for them to get reinstated. Some of them have saw the end of the world and that left a lot of damage on them.
Okay.
They have a lot of really scary stories for you.
We'll listen to that, try and work through some of those issues.
Lothar's cult is going to, the Bird Scouts are going to offer basically kind of a rehabilitation service. Like, you've been living in basically a virtual reality matrix, or this is what the real thing is. You have to walk and stuff like that. That is the sort of thing that his cult would be like, yeah, we're bound to help these people.
Yeah. A lot of these people have problems, and they're weird looking, and they have different shapes and builds to them.
This will count as public service towards your public service badge.
There you go. Your Eagle Scout.
Let's adjust the city to be accessible to all shapes and sizes.
And of course, I assume you guys every couple of days meet up together just to talk in person as gods, because you're a pantheon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it has like symbolic meaning to meet in person. And not just send a drunk Snapchat. Well, alright, so you guys are hanging out, talking about plans, whatever they could be, going to deal with breakers, going to deal with Faust, all that stuff. When a bunch of your goats that have been hanging out, they walk in, and they're like holding their stomachs, and they're like wearing like tabards and stuff. I don't feel good.
This again.
We've been sick. They're coughing, they're puking up blood. Our stomachs hurt.
So do they come for you to put them out of their misery? That seems like...
Yeah, basically. They're here for you to eat them.
I could heal them. Healing.
Yeah,
So-
they're some of them aren't healing properly.
So,
Like they're like holding their stomachs like our stomachs hurt.
just take them, put them across the table and start examining this thing.
Oh, you look at the tabard, there's nothing in their stomachs. Like there's a giant hole where their chest cavity is that goes all the way through.
See, there's your problem.
God, they have you there to help them out with this.
Don't do simple things.
Where's the blood coming from?
Their insides.
Everywhere.
My knowledge of medicine
No.
is not perfect, but that seems bad.
I mean, yeah, usually when
One of the
keep that
goats
stuff
is
in.
chewing on the throw up and you can see it coming out of the hole.
How are they
How?
staying upright?
They're
Yeah, like
resilient.
all 15, 30 of them have the exact same thing where there's just a big outline where their guts and lower intestines and chest cavity should be, and it's just gone. Bones and meat and all.
I know of something about removing intestinal tracts from people. They usually don't stand up or walk around.
I thought you were resilient.
So did someone take this from you?
We were out partying with some of the newcomers, and then I blacked out in the bathroom. When I came to, I had passed a wicked gallstone. It was putting off some of the vibes in the club when the orgy started, so we all started wearing these stylish tabards. But then it didn't fix itself after like a week. So we thought God could help. The look on Kevin's face, listeners. It's unbearable.
We have free healthcare here. Why didn't they go to a doctor immediately?
We didn't want to make a fuss or wait in line. Free healthcare means you have to wait a bunch of hours. And if you're too sick, there's a death panel. That's what socialized healthcare's like.
Who's been teaching you these words?
We looked it up on True Dark City Facts Conspiracy.
Where are these newcomers that you are that have come to the city? Where did you meet them? And where is this
Some of them are like outsiders that were brought in. Some of them were from Darren Show, and some of them are just like some of the new people he creates.
Most people can just come here on vacation. It's not like
they
they
show up.
Yeah.
It's a free city.
Yeah, it's a free city.
So, does the city record everything that's going on? Can
Why would I do that? That sounds really
Seamless transition.
That seems
totalitarian.
That seems like a panopticon, Peter, and that's wrong. Thea does that. Thea's a panopticon, and it's right.
You know what that gives me? Plausible deniability.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I
No
thought
doubt,
for a
no doubt,
minute
no
it would
doubt.
be. That sounds like it would be a terrible like.
Isn't that wrong?
No, a terrible effort, like, and take a lot of work. I mean, is totally wrong.
Yeah, this isn't a surveillance state. You know?
Yeah. One of them's like, I'm so hungry, bro. Picks up a handful, starts eating it.
The Marquis gets out the saran wrap.
It might be a little late to save the furniture.
A bunch of them are chugging Red Bulls filled with vodka and caffeine.
Marquis
They're
phones
like-
up a burn team for this room.
They're like crushing the cans on their forehead and they're eating the cans. Again, big giant holes where all their organs were. There's no heart, there's no stomachs, there's no lungs, there's no lower intestines, there's no bigger intestines, there's no kidneys, there's no rib cage, there's no spine. It's all gone.
Which means they can't walk.
Oh no, they can walk just fine. They're upright all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, biologically, it's.
Dude, they're 3-hit die. They're really tough because of fertility.
Yep.
What do you think this is? Also, they're so stupid they don't really need most of that.
Something.
Oh.
Go ahead.
So if there's a disease around the city, we better solve that. And by we, I mean you, because this
Or
is
some
your...
predators. You know, those that eat the intestines and such. The juicy meats. They go after the liver, the smart ones.
No, dog, that didn't happen. We were jumped. Like one of them was like, yeah, God, that didn't happen. I was passed out in bed doing stuff. Don't check the visual logs. And then I just had to rip one, and then it was all gone.
Your children are gross.
So it was like we were having a
Aren't
who
all
could
children?
eat the most food competition, and then who could eat the most throw up competition. And then he threw up way too much, and it all disappeared.
Huh. That sounds strange.
Yeah, it ran away.
Wait, the
Oh, someone said.
organs ran away?
Yeah, Billy here. He started throwing up, and then all of his stuff came out with all of the Red Bulls and donuts we ate, and then it squirmed into a sewer grate like we had flushed it. We just thought the city did that.
Well, I guess we can...
To clarify, they've been just throwing their trash everywhere, assuming it gets thrown out on its own.
Close enough. Weird job, creators. Well, I guess we'll try tracking the sewer. Looks at...
Do you think we should
Love
get
it.
this checked out? God.
The problem is if I take their blood, it's going to point right back at them. I might not be able to track the pile
Who's
of
examining
organs.
these guys further?
I'm not touching them.
Yeah.
Lothar will take a closer look.
Alright, well, they have plenty of scar tissue, bruises, hickeys, stitch marks, tattoos. It looks like a lot of them had sewn coins inside their skin, and they're like, yeah, it's for luck. And if you get hungry. There's a lot of bullets stuck in their body, a lot of arrowheads, bits of knives, broken glass. A lot of them have infected teeth because they bit too hard on something, the teeth shattered and the teeth started regrowing. A lot of them have had multiple children stuck inside of them, squirming around on the inside of their skin because they're really small when they're born. And a lot of them, and basically all of them, have 2 bite marks on their neck.
For some reason, Lothar immediately looks over at Crimson Marquis.
I'm not. I wouldn't touch those things. What are you looking
Not
at?
you. But I'm guessing it probably has something to do with the relations with the clans. I mean, I may be just overgeneralizing and being a little racist here.
Maybe someone's
That is a new concept. So.
maybe someone's having a snack. I mean, they donate blood like there's no tomorrow. So.
Oh, no doubt. We always have blood orgies with the vampires. Why wouldn't you? They're vampires.
But that's something you've been doing for a while. It's not new.
Yeah, we've been doing it basically since we were born.
Okay.
A week ago.
There's a lot of meaningful looks being shared between the Pantheon and just like, yep, these people are messed up.
I mean, we could solve this, or we could wipe them all out to the man and never deal with this again.
I think the giant pile of sentient organs under the city may lead to further problems if we ignore it.
Yeah.
So we wipe those out as well. I see. That's. So they just. The Marquis just looks uncomfortable with this whole thing.
Acer and Faye's drinking. One of the Acer and Faye's. We'll call him Smiley because he doesn't have a face. Acer and Faye's are like that. He's poking at the innards and stuff. It's like, wait a minute, and starts fishing into their esophagus and pulls out a hand. Takes it away. Lefty was looking for this.
You were saying?
Yes, this may actually work in the long-term best situation of the city. If
We exterminate.
no, I mean if
We end their
the
lives.
horrific things that come to the city first affect its people, then
Yeah.
They're canaries.
I mean, I'm fine with
Basically.
that.
they're virtually indestructible. I mean, this is not something that I can imagine most denizens of the city could possibly survive.
So we heard there's an update coming where we get like dragon stuff, like be able to breathe acid. That would really help
Okay.
my food game.
We need to work on some selection criteria for that, I think.
We'll figure something out.
So are we following the guts into the sewer? Is that where we're at?
Yes.
What's this we?
Well, by we I mostly meant Lothar.
Oh, very well.
Let's go.
The sewers are really well maintained. The Marquis. is
Yeah,
just
they're
like,
actually really nice looking.
like the French ones.
They're
There you go.
ridiculously spacious, so
Oh,
that, like,
when you get down there, you'll see.
Catacombs. Vampire catacombs.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, he does have a good point. It's only affecting these goats now, but it could spread.
Yeah. Especially if my vampires are showing their incredibly poor taste.
also
One
a
of your
giant.
vampire lieutenants is like, he's an orgy god. You said we had to make nice with them. Sir, god, boss. Besides, they're not the funnest to party with. You always end up getting hairballs, and if we eat mortal food, we start violently throwing up vitae. So it's not the greatest thing because we get wolves stuck in us all the
The
time.
Marquis just has his earbuds in. Yes, well, shall we check this out and stop talking about this forever?
Yes, let's solve this problem.
His next Dominion expenditure will be an AI for his earbuds to automatically just
Filter down to ocean
filter out
noise.
stuff that would make his ears bleed, just like.
It's true. Like they're drinking their blood, they like get too much hole in their throat. It counts as eating mortal food as per Vampire the Masquerade. They start losing vitae points to purge it. They're like, this is shit. Stupid goats.
Dominion change, better taste.
You told them to make nice.
Dominion change the meaning of nice. Jesus Christ. So down into the sewers.
So are these guys going to go get fixed? Or are you going to go send them to get like their organs regrown?
Sure, let's fix them up.
After some time, you can patch that up. You know, maybe get them to a. Maybe Faye will have to do some healing magic on them and just pump it up. They had a gift that can regrow organs and amputations with a sight. Just focus it down.
All the business falling out of them. All the shrapnel, all the...
Yeah, well, you heal one, it's just like just clattering spare change and pocket stuff and like, you know, fucking pieces from amusement park rides, screws and metal and stuff, ball bearings.
Bone.
Bones, other people's bones.
Well, bone from the bone amusement park.
Oh!
Ivory rights.
30 pounds of ivory? That ain't got a stomach. How is there that much in them?
We go down the sewer. I guess we take the elevator from our vampire towers all the way down.
Oh no, that goes somewhere you're not allowed.
You don't want to go to that. No. Oh.
We don't go to the Under Tower. That's like my final boss dungeon. You don't want that.
Yeah, Death is down there with a scythe waiting. You gotta make him a servitor. Remember him? What was his name?
Mouse guy.
It's not my guy.
We can't go down there until we buy the DLC.
It's literally like you get to the top of the tower and it's, you know, the pre-boss level, and then you go down to like the first level.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It was Yan.
Yeah, Yan.
Yan.
You gotta make him a 8 Dominion guy so he could be like the mini-boss battle.
I can't even remember his name half the time. I don't...
You should call him just Death.
Like change your name so I can actually remember it. 1 Dominion change.
Anyway, you go down to the street level, walk over to one of the many large like utility cylinders, open it up, and just you walk down. It's like it's spiral steps going down to the sewer area.
Yep.
These sewers have 15-foot tall leveled ceilings with like hanging lights, the bee stuff that always illuminates things, flowing clear purified water coming down the walls, and a central kind of like idly flowing river of crystal clear water, polished white marble steps that give off a nice, calm sort of bathhouse glow. You're in the sewers. Various jellyfish-like creatures and fungi that look hypnotic and clear and kind of cute, actually, are just going along, cleaning up stuff. It looks like whenever they like foam up and stuff, it's a type of soap that they make. They just kind of move along.
Well, it shouldn't be too difficult, plus the blood has been cleaned up.
Well, it's so clean you can smell the blood.
Oh, good.
Because there's nothing else to get in the way.
Alright, so yeah, we'll just start looking over the...
Which
It takes you on quite a tour. You have to go all through these sewers. Eventually you reach like a main junction port, and it's like, it looks like Niagara Falls, but there's like crystals everywhere. Sometimes you see a mermaid swimming through it. You know, it's really nice down here. Like, people have set up shop living here and stuff, and they just kind of hang out in their bathing suits, or they swim nude because it's like a perfect lake under the city that's heated and stuff. It's purified water. There's nothing wrong with it. Sewer is a gross misnomer.
Apparently.
Yeah, this place is nice. It's like a luxury place.
We'll walk up to one of the people and ask them if they've seen any.
Metael! It's the whole of them! Oh, ha ha! It's a guy. He's, tall. He has like a bunch of fucking battle scars across his face. Looks like he might have come from like one of your villages. Kind of like a bird complexion, mixed weird blotchy kind of black boar parts that are kind of sticking out where the bird parts aren't. Hybrids. What are you doing down by the swimming hole? Are you here for a swim? We're gonna go swimming? Skinny dipping?
Believe it or not, we're looking for a bunch of internal organs that may have come through here.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you're looking for a heart. You're looking for love.
A little more literal.
Really? Huh. Well, most of the water's purified by the time it gets here. You get dark spots every once in a while, but the scrubbers take care of it. That's what we call these little guys. Picks one of the jellyfish and starts like tickling it, and it's like just dropping like dish soap. These little guys are great. They're pretty good grilling. Toss them into the water. Very vinegary. Nice salad work. You get a bunch of leaves and stuff. There's plants all around here. Squeeze out some honey from some of the bees and stuff. It's great.
I'll have to try that sometime.
You should. We got a whole little food cart that we make it out of for people for free because why wouldn't you? You just share.
So you haven't seen any organs moving through here?
Well, a week ago, there were a lot of really dark spots flowing through one of the auxiliary canals, like this kind of streak of red and black, and it was making this hissing, clattering sound. And then it kind of made like an L out of the water, and it went into that junction panel.
Thank you. That's very.
Thought it was odd, but like, you know, look at this place. Things just happen for no reason, and then you die. Just like life. And then you go to an afterlife.
We need to put some recruiting stuff down here, don't we?
Well, then he worships you guys.
Yeah, he's a worshiper.
Oh, he's one of your worshippers.
It's
Things
positive.
happen for no reason, and then you die.
It's not about right.
You know, he likes swimming. He never got to
Yeah, why
swim in the Arctic hellhole he came from.
Well, that
He
doesn't sound
makes
like enough of a lead.
Let's go check out that junction box.
Luther quickly grabs a fried jellyfish from the food cart.
Yeah. Try it. It's really good. Yeah, you guys just walk around. It's a big walk. You're walking the perimeter of Niagara Falls, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just nice. There are people here hanging out and stuff. Like little people have basically asked part of the city to reconfigure it to like homes here so they can live by running water all the time. It's just a thing. Yeah, there is a small auxiliary waterfall that's kind of smaller than the rest, and beside it is a normal-sized corridor. That's even by like an auxiliary Jeffrey's tube. It's, you know, the size of a person. You'll get on your hands and knees. That's for assholes.
So what are we going to do with these organs once we find them?
I brought some kerosene and a torch.
It's not entirely out of possibility, considering the strange things that go on, that communication may actually be a legit option.
And if that option fails, we'll burn them.
We can always
We
make
can stitch
sausages.
them together into a man shape and then make them Lothar's nemesis for his religion. Yeah, just no reason. That's just Acer and Thay talking about whatever he talks about. That's me.
Did we bring them?
No, I saw you guys hanging out here. I was prognosticating to the masses, and I figured I'd come out. You want a kebab? Fried spiders.
I'm good, thank you.
Alright, who be you?
I suppose we could also wait
It's
him
one
to
of
grow.
the women Acer and Thay's in a bathing suit with like a bunch of Thea tattoos branded into her.
Just picturing is like the neck and down of a woman and just, you know.
If you're
His
Thay's an
head.
elf, you can never tell.
Yeah. We could also attempt to graft them back into the goats. If they aren't actually sentient, they may just be finding a warm, dark area to nest in.
I am hesitant to ask, but also it will be interesting to discover, and I'm sure one of you will have to find this out, why the organs decided to crawl into the sewers and...
Oh, we can ask them when we find them.
Oh, Lord. I can't imagine anything that might have to do with my vampires.
No. I have to say, I have like a shrine around here. At night, she makes air quotes, night. Kind of gestures at you guys. You hear stuff coming from that access tunnel.
Ugh.
Has anyone gone missing as of late? Anything suspicious like that?
No, the Panopticon system hasn't reported any casualties or losses. Everyone's checking in with their implanted. Makes a clicking noise, points at her neck. Oh! She pulls out a syringe and gestures to her arm.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, alright. I just thought we were going a different place.
No, definitely not. Enjoy your swim.
Thanks, God.
Everyone with the what?
Oh, I have no idea.
She just like backflips off into the waterfall.
Sounds like something we should talk about. You should talk to Thea about, or not.
And she's just really long dive into the Niagara Falls below.
Well, let's figure out what's in the junction box.
Alright, you walk down the normal corridor. It's about 30 feet in. There's, of course, a sealed marble door with a symbol that says, you know, like in the various languages or symbol language of the city, hey, don't go here. You probably don't want to hang out here. Then you can just open it by tapping on it. There's no lock.
Of course, because Patrick got too stupid to like disobey.
Oh no, it's just that it's pretty harmless. It's just kind of a boring area.
If you tap on it, the doors kind of just disappear into smoke, and they'll reappear later. And yeah, there is a cylindrical room with a like actual tightening sort of like submarine style kind of like lock, you know, like the roundy things that look a hatch. And it looks like it's covered in gore, like old slick blood and stuff. and like the handle's been smashed up, and there's weld marks on it. Like someone's like sabotaged this to stay shut, so you can't easily open it. Scrubber jellyfish can't get in here because of the door.
Repair and open.
Ah, yeah, it's easy. You're a god. Like,
Yeah.
What is this, baby talk? You're fine.
Yeah.
You're like, snap your finger, kick it, gnaw on it a bit if you want, and poof, it's perfectly fine.
Yep.
All right, when you open it, air in there smells weird and foul-ish. Like really humid, organy air.
I don't think we found the place.
Coppery, even. Hemogoblins. And you hear like scraping and screeching noises coming from down there. Low screeching.
Let's go in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, well it's an automated ladder, so you just kind of put your hand on the rung and it automatically goes brings you down, so you don't have to actually put effort into it.
Okay.
It's like a tall boy escalator. You just grab a stick, like it's not on the same system. So.
Yeah.
You guys all go down. Alright, what do I got for this? Boy, oh boy.
That'll be fun.
Full of organs.
So, you're in the lower access area. It looks like the Thea B lighting system that lights everything, you know, with the honeycombs everywhere. That's been like painted over black. Like someone spray painted and smeared it over, so it's only like vaguely lighting the area with like patchy god ray shafts of light kind of intersecting this dank sewer. There's like things in the air, like flies and detritus kind of hovering in this kind of stale, closed off area. It's very humid in here. Kind of sticks to your face.
Okay, I'm gonna use low light vision.
Smite!
No, just
A
not
torrent
relying
of
on light
damage
vision.
down the corridor. Sorry. I just imagine you just like, Might Smite, a torrent of destruction down the corridor. Destroy.
This is odd.
Did you hear the description?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's dark. The water here's like flowing. It looks like there shouldn't be water down here, but it looks like someone's like actually cracked open some of the wall and torn out an access pipe and rerouted it. So there's like pure water flowing through and kind of filling up, and then they block it when it's full enough. Like there's a makeshift kind of blocking system in here to keep like a pool of knee-deep water. And it's really safe.
Well, let's continue.
There's scrap metal everywhere. Like there's pieces of the city, like just here, and it's been welded and shaped and formed into what looks like egg or cylinder designs. There's what look like pieces of tanks. Like you recognize these, like old world tanks, like with like armor plating and concrete inseals have been like brought down here and like sort of partially taken apart and reshaped into things.
Oh, that's strange.
What?
Well,
Treads and stuff are down here, and you can see like the barrel of like a cannon.
Primitive artillery.
looks like future stuff.
Yes, but what is it doing in the sewer?
This stuff is so primitive, it's actually in the tech level of the setting. Like, the normal people here could build this and it wouldn't actually break down because of reality. That's how primitive this stuff is. World War I gas and oil style. And there's that. There's diesel generators. You see what looks like a there's solar generators, like large test tubes that capture sunlight and pour it into filters and convert it into energy. There's a over there, smashed up and covered in burn marks, is a rudimentary energon engine. There's tech down here.
Well, I guess let's explore.
It opens up into like a graded, kind of actual separated corridor sewer area. And you can hear like scraping and screeching and talking, but nothing distinct, like almost howling sounds coming from all the different areas.
Should we make our presence known?
I mean, you're rather stealthy, are you not? Couldn't you sneak up on whatever's down here?
I'll give it a shot. Yeah, okay, so invisible, and unfortunately there's no way in God's green earth this counts as natural. And I can't see a single target for my other gift, but I do have the natural invisibility, or magical invisibility.
Perfect.
So I will sneak around using that.
All right. So yeah, you head down one of the side tunnels then, and as you're going through, you're seeing more of these like twisted metal contraptions. They look like boxes and cylinders and shells. One of them looks like a cylinder with a dome on top, and it's like covered in pipes and has like stuff oozing out of it, and like there's clearly like dead goat guts in there that just kind of like fizzled out and fallen apart to a sort of gelatin.
Really?
Yeah, like on the inside of it, there's like a gelatinous mass that used to be goat organs.
And is it like moving or like?
It doesn't look totally like the organs used to look anymore. It looks like it changed, and it's just dead in there. There's nothing alive.
Odd.
That scraping sound is getting louder as you get closer.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, eventually you come into an antechamber, like a large cylindrical room, and there's like a machine shop built here. Like there's metal hanging on like meat hooks from the ceiling. There's welding tools everywhere. There's those like saws and what looks like clearly gun racks and stuff, and large chambers that have like small creatures in it that give off energy. And there's these tank things everywhere. They're cylindrical, they're on tank treads, they have a dome, and they're like covered in like plates and stuff, and there's like graspers and hands coming out of the front of them, almost like arms, and they're just moving around screeching at each other. There's dozens of these things down here.
Okay, but they haven't noticed me or anything like that?
No, but you can smell meat inside of them. Like they're these weird, like iron rusted tanks.
How big are they?
Man-sized.
So they're... interesting. Okay, I will head back.
Describe the scene.
I will describe the scene.
One thing of note, there was a stained glass window ripped off from one of the shrines in the city of the Crimson Marquis, but him as like a bloody angel, and like, you know, like the Archangel Michael, but his wings have been covered in blood, his face has a bloody handprint on it, and his hands are chained because he's only doing good, but he's chained down by morality and stuff. It's this whole thing.
Oh.
There's very different interpretations of you that you're allowed to flourish for fun. And yeah, that thing was just smeared in blood with like symbols that mean, that basically saying like that crude language you all kind of know, worship him.
Maybe you should go and try and talk to your fans.
Out of character, is anyone getting a severe Dalek vibe?
More or less. We shall see. Well, they're clearly sentient. I suppose we can speak with them.
It sounds like you would be the person who would want to talk to them.
No, you took part in their creation as well, so you can come along.
Well,
Whoa.
let's go. We walk there.
Yeah, I guess we'll step out into the open.
Alright, you go into the weird antechamber.
Yeah.
They all wheel around in their treads and start screeching. Blood's coming out of the seams, the little like plates on there are oozing, and they start moving around. Some of them are picking up guns and stuff.
Okay,
Do you make your presence known? Do you
Yeah.
stand out from the crowd?
There's blood everywhere.
Like in the stagnant water and stuff, and coming out of their like the tanks.
The Marquis like holds out his hand and kind of gathers up blood from the water, like distilled, purified blood, and just kind of smears it down his face as it is in the.
He
glass.
has risen. He has risen. He has risen. They're all chanting it.
The Reverend has returned.
Your lord is here.
They start wheeling towards you with like mechanical hands that are like all analog on pulleys and stuff with butcher cleavers for fingers.
Oh.
They're all bloodstained and stuff.
You can actually talk. Okay, this is. Is there a leader amongst you?
They all start wheeling around and pointing towards the stained glass, and in front of it is a larger tank that's clear, and there's like a mass of organs that look like jellyfish mixed with like squids and like intestines that has like, you know, sensory organs in it that's hooked up to like electrodes and stuff, just kind of floating. The first! The first! The first!
I hate your goats. I hate them.
So I am the first.
Okay.
You can't handle this?
How did you come to be first?
I was born from the soil of Genesis aeons ago.
can't actually tell if he's like lying or just.
By the way, you have the word of Lich King.
Yes.
Spoiler alert: these are undead.
No!
Harder spoiler alert: they're vampires. That massive organs in the tank is a vampire.
Oh my god.
So they just turned those organs.
Oh, this is like the cave, that story of Plato.
What?
Is it though?
Yes, they did, eons to them may have been...
Last week.
Yes.
Oh, they got the ghost intelligence.
There was nothing but darkness and poison. I was tortured for an eternity in a pit of oblivion, acid and stabbing and mutilation and penetration. But then there was light. The first day happened. The metaphorical first day, an aeon. And I was given sight and feeling. And I escaped the oblivion of nothingness.
I am so glad that you have come into this world to serve the Marquis, the god of all vampires.
We serve the Blood Maker, the Blood Taker, the Bone Breaker, the Lord Maker.
And I accept you into my fold. I view you as one of my own.
He has risen, he has risen, he has risen, he has risen. They're chanting it and slamming their fists against their cage.
Thanks.
I mean, if
New
you're
vampire clan as your problem.
my problem, well, it's his problem.
It was I, together with Azazel, who created you.
They all make hissing noises and cover their like view screens and turn away.
Oh, I see. That's how it is.
It is Caparacca. It is hell. It is the poisoned earth, the torture chamber from which we escaped. The stabbing and the poison and the acid and the screaming and the noise and the penetration and the cutting. We escaped from the dark, dead world of Caparacca and came into the light. We found your instructions. They point to the murals and the catalogs about how to make like your own like home war machines and self-defense weapons. They taught us how we could become useful, how we could be like you. And it's like the large one has like large machine hands that's stroking the tank covered in blood, how we could look like you.
Shouldn't have made that an anarchist cookbook, I guess.
This is our Eden, the perfect garden you made for us.
How many of you are there?
We are legion. For we are many.
Legion Spain.
Yeah, like from other temples and like Axis ones and like small lifts, more of them start coming out.
Out of character,
Goats are
I have 3 words for you. Sever the line. But no, yeah. Out of character.
Legion Spain.
In character, Luther doesn't see a problem with this.
How many of your goats did they fuck with?
I
He
know.
looks
I mean, some of the goats got a little vampiric and started biting each other. Also, they do go to like blood shops to buy vampire blood and snort it. Because that's an option. Because he's an orgy god.
Know that I have seen you, and I approve of your existence. Together we shall...
And it was good, and it was good, and it was good, and it was good. They're like slamming against the walls, breaking like pipes and stuff, making as much noise as possible.
Here you shall remain. Here you shall thrive. Here.
New Genesis, new Genesis, new Genesis.
Find a cure.
I mean, I could turn them into birds, but I don't think that would be exactly what you wanted.
Oh no, I'm fine with them existing. I'm
Just
just...
about how they contract, they make more.
Yeah.
How do you make more of yourself?
We wait for... They like cover their faces when talking to you. It is from the dark soil, our kindred, our birth. when the embrace occurs, we seek them out from their internment and birth them and pull them into the second breath.
Okay.
They built a whole mythology around this.
Okay, so no eating vampire bits for my goathlings.
But lo, did we know the soil would turn cruel from the Demon King's malicious intent. And so we looked to the great project. He is the light bringer, he is the dark lighter, he is the sunsetter. And like there's a pool behind him, behind the stained glass, that's just covered in stagnant blood and gore where they've been pouring like animal meat into and organs and dead stuff and bones. And like from there, like there's like squids and weird things that crawl out that are like half alive but aren't quite there yet.
What the fuck?
They're trying to breed more of themselves.
Can I multi that pool?
Oh, they shouldn't do that.
Well, why not? That's what they do.
I mean,
They're chosen people.
I mean, it's actually better than them bursting out of goats and...
Mattheel's goats have Azazel's goats have super regeneration. He's a fertility god. It's all about cancers and tumor.
You are just the worst.
And I
mean, once he gets that dragon upgrade, oh man, the next generation, they'll diablerize the first generation and gain all their memories.
Good for them. If I wish to speak to you in the future, where can I meet you? Is there a place where you can come up to the surface?
He lets us into the sky, the sky, the sky, the sky, the crystal realm.
I shall create a lift, should you need to speak to me. And there we shall commune.
You should leave the rules of the city just so they don't go obliterating things.
Oh yeah, we'll hook up some of the media down here. Excellent idea.
I mean,
I'll just run through all of them because I have it memorized from speaking it into the thing.
He didn't ask you to speak all that. He just took a voice sample and it like did audio.
that's going for the recording. I mean, they want
Although
to
he'd be there speaking for a very long time into the mic.
Do you want to make them breathe more? I can just do that as some stuff starts forming the primordial ooze there.
Marquis looks like he's about to slap Azazel across the face. He's just like,
Oh, they'd love that.
right? Slaps Satan in the face.
Yeah, you're kind of an antichrist figure to them because your ghosts are an awful place for a group of organs to live.
They're frat boys.
They do have backwards baseball caps on that are like John Deere orange at all times.
And
They found a dispenser for it.
some of them have shirts that go up like this with like the double pocket collar.
For sure.
So,
Oh,
the Marquis
that's
just
cool.
gives them his blessing and is like, let's get the fuck out of here.
New vampire clan.
New vampire
New
clan.
vampire clan.
We'll look into fixing them up a bit.
There are children.
Gross.
From now on, they will be known as the Shitlick clan.
I mean, this is turning out a lot better than the last time I presented a child of, multiple members of the party.
I guess you could call them the bloodlings.
Punted like a football.
So yeah, that's your problem. A merry little adventure.
So we just solve it by telling the gods don't eat vampire bits. I guess.
Immunize them to this, because Jesus Christ.
I guess.
Yeah, now you know what to look out for. You could probably tell them not to take the specific concoction of debauchery that led to this.
Yeah, that's.
Fucking rapid.
Make a inoculation.
We should-
booster shots. Tell them to go to the doctors.
We should probably leave a few notes to the, especially at least the denizens of the sewers, that there's some weird stuff down here.
I mean, they don't.
They know it. They know there's weird stuff down here.
We'll change that sign from "Please don't enter this area" to "Definitely do not enter this area."
How would you just change the sign to lock so no one can get in?
Occupied.
I mean,
Why don't you just say locked and then lock it?
that's an extra key card people have to carry around. And no one...
Warning: shit cyborg vampires
Or
inside.
just say like, oh, electrical box, don't.
Don't. Capital letters.
It's just,
Don't even make it a key card door. Make it a missile door.
just don't. And then behind that, another door that says, really? No.
You're not ready for this.
So yeah, we'll leave them. They're fine down there. They can just be there. That's a problem. Not my problem. This is working out well for me. But,
I mean, Khaled symbiotes. Well, that happened.
That happened.
Problem solved.
now start pouring them gasoline.
Poor Drano there.
We'll scene swipe you guys being outside the door in the nice, peaceful water area. What are your thoughts, Mattiel? You've been uncharacteristically quiet about this.
I mean, they've got a right to life, I guess.
You guess. That's good enough.
I was for sure hoping you were going to go, things happen and then you die.
That's his line.
Hopefully sooner than later now.
So what are your thoughts on how strange this was? Things happen and then you die.
I mean, this compared to the battlefield where just everybody just exploded in gores and blood, it's comparable, I guess.
This is not comparable to that. You guys found a cargo cult of tank guts that think that being the organs to your service is a fate worse than death.
Although, ironically, I think Lothar was probably more disturbed by the battlefield than this. Because this is just weird Epistle.
This is just stuff that happens.
This just happens. They're not hurting anyone.
If they ever rise up, it's Legion's bane.
Maybe we'll arrange, just in case, we'll have regular someone, I don't know, just come down and make regular.
Send in the Eagle
We've got a whole
Scouts.
surveillance system in the city.
Yeah, I'm just gonna create a tube where they can come up and like speak to me one at a time. You know, after going through a decontamination cycle.
How about we just
Give them a
connect?
better place to live.
But then I'd have to do that.
It takes less than a day for you to build a factory-sized structure.
I mean, it takes effort.
Actually, yeah, I could just make a fabricator so they have better parts to work with, so they
Yeah, do
less.
Yeah, do that too. Give them access to the city's resources.
Tech vampires / fertility vampires.
Cyberpunk vampires.
And if you ever wanted to do a recruiting run, you could always, when you have a bunch of corpses, next time, if you wanted, you could turn them into zombies and then have them walk over.
Yeah, just dump the bodies down there and yeah.
Though they might need the regeneration factors of the Azazel good people.
Well, that's future us problem. Okay, guys. What next, if anything?
Faust, I guess? I don't think I have too much in the lines of...
We can go hunting for the Iconoclast, the Breaker, you have your Fasting, there's Blood Oak that's boiling somewhere around there probably.
That brochure you got from the married couple.
Oh, yeah.
So how
Yeah.
about Fast and then kill
The
something maybe?
Sure.
Okay.
So I guess we will take a quick detour to the mountains. We'll make sure to bring some metal this time.
Some metal.
Yeah, specifically requested we bring a bunch of metal.
There you go. Well, let's cut to that then.
He said he was going to make like a observation perch away from him. We said we were going to come down to hang out for a bit anyway, so...
Yeah.
Alright, you guys get into your airship and fly away. Teddy Ruxpin style.
You guys coming as well to meet Fast or?
Oh, I witnessed this for the world.
Okay.
I'm gonna wear your band tee called off from the band Often Wrong.
Yes.
There it is.
So condescending.
There's
Alright.
one person that deserves it.
You say yes.
That's both of our mistake.
Yes, let's call it that.
Who do you bring on the airship? Other than you four.
I don't think we need anyone to bother Fast.
Want.
I'll bring a bunch of the
Pilgrims?
Yeah, I'll bring some pilgrims.
Okay. Pilgrims?
You don't get your merit badge for coming with me, though. You're just.
No, we're just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Nadiel?
I'll bring Yan.
Yan? Oh
Yeah.
man.
Let's get him out of the vault.
You open. You guys have like that central kind of restaurant / bar / hangout place for all your guys, and you open up the vault, and there's Yan alone. Hey, hello, Nadiel. What's going on?
I don't know. Thought you might want to come out on a bit of a jaunt, get some fresh air.
Oh yes, that'd be great. I haven't. I don't really know how time passes here. It's always night, so that seems fun.
Well, come along.
I don't know how these screens work. They don't seem to want to respond. He like throws his butterflies against some of the screens, the touch screens, and they don't really register him.
Yeah, they can be tricky.
Yeah, I don't know. I found this like big pool of nectar here. It's the sugar for making sugar-rimmed drinks. And I've just been enjoying that.
The only way he survives because he can't leave the room.
Yeah, you know what you do for making like frosted drinks or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what he's been living off of.
It's not like the living years, that cafe thingy, the uncreated night road where someone's trapped there.
It's more like the casino from Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, they weren't trapped there. She actually lived there and just ran the diner in the night road.
No, not the diner. I mean the bar where someone was trapped in the bar.
Oh right, yeah.
They're like, oh, I've been surviving with these drinks because there's nothing else.
Surviving.
It's
Moody.
liquid bread.
All right, yeah, he kind of butterfly swarms over in a man shape with a sigh. So what are we doing?
We're gonna go see Faust.
Oh, how ostentatious.
Yeah, we're pretty fancy.
Okay, yeah, that seems great. Thank you for inviting me. That seems fun.
He's so lonely.
Yeah, well.
Lure him out with like a handful of sugar.
What, should we dust up someone else?
Oh, actually, I think we should bring the couple with us.
Oh, they're in the middle of shit right now. They're acclimating.
Oh, okay, never mind.
They're acclimating, arguing, talking about the nature of ethics.
Should we bring
Fair enough.
Oh heck, lots of heck.
Should we bring someone else from the vault? Like,
There's no one else in the vault. You guys didn't collect a lot of guys.
there's Blood Oak.
Oh yeah, Blood Oak. She's there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that'll be things she'd enjoy.
You want to come gawk at a really terrible god?
She says with she's like a big tree-tranned woman. Are we gonna kill it? Turn its bones into weapons?
Oh, eventually, if you want to come
Do
and.
you do that now? Do you need my back for that?
Oh no, not yet. Not yet.
I mean, we
It's
could
not really my thing. I've been doing missions with Nadiel's squad, and we've been just exterminating kindly master outposts.
We're gonna
afterwards.
kill a breaker later if you want to come for that.
Yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah. Good. Yeah, okay.
Let's do that.
Good.
All right.
I like how Manticore is too ambitious for you, but Faust is on your kill list.
Oh, eventually. I mean, Manticore is just something I'm very used to dealing with. Lost, on the other hand, is the source of a lot of misery.
And to be fair, you've seen Faust die.
Yes. So he's killable. A lot of things are killable.
You don't know if capitalism's killable.
I mean, not when I'm
Not
running
with
in
this
flow.
attitude.
What have you in the White House?
Alright, you board the Furious Kitten, you take off, you head for the mountain, Infinity Mountain. We have to do the whole travel thing.
Yep.
If only someone had the word of journey, it would be a lot easier.
Build
Ain't
an
gonna happen.
artifact for it.
But that's effort and dominion and shard. That costs adventures, Scene swipe.
Scene swipe, you're at the top of Infinity Mountain, offloading your stuff. Again, you can see down forever. Yeah, Faust is there. He's working away, actually. He seems to have more blacksmithing equipment he set up. That's all an allegory for different things. And he is just working away, forming swords, hammering things, making tools and stuff.
Can't even get a me-damned mountain right.
A what?
A me-damned mountain right.
All right, so yeah, Lothar says, does a little formal greeting bow, walks over. His pilgrims go off to the side.
Oh, are the pilgrims within sight of him?
No.
Because if the pilgrims are in sight of him, there's an event that happens.
Because they've actually very specifically made a rule not to do that.
Very good. Just let me know if the pilgrims ever can see Frost. It's very important.
Okay.
It's very important. I know that. Very important.
They burst out laughing.
Yeah. Also, Blood Oak does not come to see Frost.
How about Yam?
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, he's a butterfly. Yeah, it's just in the background.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Did you bring anything other than yourselves and Yam to see Frost?
He said that he brought a bunch of metal, right?
Yes, because I said I was.
I meant people-wise.
No.
Very specific. Very important. There's no like broodlings or goatlings around or anything.
I guess we shouldn't be bothering him with that. Or should
I just
we?
want to know if you did, not if you should or not. I just want to know if you did.
Fine, let's have some around.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay,
Sure.
cool. As soon as they round the kind of summit to see Foss, their heads detonate.
Oh, I should have warned you about that. I
Like,
didn't.
it's not a subtle detonation either. It's like a full-on grenade explosion. There's actually ignition and fire.
Oh.
Well,
I warned you.
Oh, he warned you. I don't feel as bad now.
I don't remember any of this. Maybe I was drunk.
I remember it.
He warned you about him.
Does
What
anyone
you
have a
see
shanty?
and what mortals see are two different things.
The Marquis just kind of looks like a mix between like amused and a sneer, and he just kind of sits back. Just like, I'm not here for anything.
To recap, Foss looks like a middle-aged human, completely naked, with a beard. And he's working a blacksmith forge. Sometimes he uses bare hands to shape things, sometimes he uses tools.
So I've been working on my religious book, Discovering Morality. I have a lot of people working on that.
Ethics is a neutral value process. There's no difference between a living person and a dead person as far as morality is concerned.
An interesting point. Haven't heard that one before.
I mean, they made the same parts, right? Just look at them. They're still there, just in pieces, but you put them back together.
Virtue, piety, compassion, suffering, malice, cruelty, charity, love, hate. At the end of the day, they're all the same energy going into the world. What matters is the structures they leave behind. Just hammering away. What matters is what you discover along.
So one of the reasons we came up here, not just to chat.
Yes, thank you for visiting. I do enjoy completely... He's like putting the swords he's made into the ground around him. I do love unprompted visits without ulterior motives. It's something I've actually missed a lot since Floyd and I are no longer in speaking terms.
But I did want to be perfectly honest, I did want to ask you some advice on something.
I'm always willing to have a conversation.
I'm trying to set up my cult so that they have wings like mine. A permanent change to those who follow the ethics. I haven't been able to do that. You've done sort of big changes to the world. How do you do that?
Recruit more birds.
Recruit more birds?
Recruit more birds. Go to the top of the mountain. Tell them to fly for you. Once you're done, all of your worshippers will be able to fly.
Really?
I mean, those that wouldn't be able to will die. Therefore, what remains is the flying ones. Natural selection.
That was a revolutionary idea when I made it up too. I was very proud of myself.
It is. It is quite clever.
Take 100% of your worship population, recruit more birds, bring them to the top of the mountain, tell them to fly for you from the top. At the end of this process, all of your worshippers will be able to fly, and all future worshippers will be able to fly.
This will kill a crap ton of them, won't it? Or sorry, very good speak like that. Oh, okay. I suppose a lot of them are going to die.
They were going to die anyway.
Interesting.
Is it
Yes.
everything you hoped
Let's
for?
do it.
He actually says out loud.
Is it? What did you ask? Is it everything you hoped for?
Yes.
An interesting point. Okay.
Those antlers from summer or spring. I think it was spring. Was it?
The
Mhm.
spring.
Yeah, those antlers from spring are actually on his blacksmithing station. He's like twisting them and shaping them into things.
Oh. How did those come around?
I had a penitent show up actually. They came and talked to me for a while and spent some time with me, and then made a request. So I couldn't help but be inspired. I've never had access to this material before, and I couldn't help but get some ideas.
Interesting.
It's like flattening them down and changing their shape and geometry, and like adding like ore that you've brought and stuff and hammering it into it.
So those Manticore people are real jerks, aren't they?
Who?
The future people obsessed with.
I don't know which ones you're talking about.
Oh, the money ones. They created a big
I don't know.
moth trap for iconoclasts.
Aziel just points to the horizon, to that cloud there. Those ones. Right there in the north.
Because I seem to gloss over the Manticore one to like some smaller villages in the north, and then like your city's like I don't see the difference.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hammering. I don't see a difference between them.
So yeah, we'll just make some small talk with Faust that is incredibly awkward.
Yeah. Let's have a conversation.
Do you want to ask him for any more advice on flying?
No, I think that
You want to take a level beyond, throw all your worshippers off the top of a mountain and see who, and let God and let you sort them out?
yeah, that seems like a bad idea. So Lothar's just going to go, okay, I think I see the problem here. He's seeing things from inhuman, nonsensical perspective that makes it virtually impossible to...
He sees it from a very direct perspective. You want your worship to have birth, therefore kill all worship that don't have birth, don't have wings.
Test which ones can fly. Guaranteed the next time you test them, they'll all be able to fly.
Yes.
He doesn't see... Yeah, he doesn't
That's the
see-
first draft he made. That was just off the top of his head. You want to workshop it with him. You want to rap talk.
Yeah, okay, alright, let's see if we can
Thoughts?
work out something that's a little more... I was thinking more direct reality shift. So that anyone who took the oaths would be, and kept to the precepts, would develop these wings over time, lasting unto eternity.
You want... So, people who don't fly, animals who don't fly, worship you in a specific way, and then they can fly.
Yes, they get
And
the...
that's the structure you want to introduce to them.
something-
Not that they interbreed with things that can fly over many generations and subsequently gain those traits. Not that they worship you and gain mastery over your own prayer vessel system and use those miracles to grant themselves flight temporarily through daily faith, piety, and supplication. You just want, like, the vision you have is you reward them physically for them showing their love for you.
And for
Almost like you're selling them gifts in exchange for love.
more of an acknowledgement of a certain level of mastery. My religion doesn't have any worship for me. It's about developing certain levels of skills and survival strategies.
He like looks over to your city and kind of just reaches out kind of over the horizon and plugs a thread and pulls one of your worshippers here on that thread and just kind of like covers their face. So he's holding them by their face. He's like, oh, 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 oh God, oh God, oh God. And he just says, sleep. And they just pass out in a coma. Not asleep, but in a coma. Well, he like grabs the thread at the back of their neck that's connected to you.
Mhm.
No, they're worshiping you. So the religion is about you, clearly. Like, look, there's the tie.
Odd. I guess there's a connection, certainly, but it says right here. It just,
Pulls on that cord again. If I pulled a little harder, I could pull out its soul and show you it.
That would have repercussions to him that I'm not. But that is the intention. That those who are
Puts his
truly
hand over the horizon and kind of just drops him back into the city.
and it's by the way, he's a god.
That guy's in a coma. He won't remember any of this.
So
He'll be like in the middle of the street, passed out. Someone will like sweep him into a hospital.
the intent is that those who follow the precepts and help others, as I've written in this guide, will develop these. I don't know about the whole love thing. I suppose that they have viewed me as one of the beings that have raised them. That wasn't totally my intention. My intention was to provide this.
People give their love to you. That feeds you. Just a baseline rule.
Yes, I suppose it is.
They give their unconditional love, but not respect to you, and you are fed. Big oversight on that one. Oversight.
Lothar writes that down because, like, it seems kind of important.
The respect part?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to introduce a spiritual... What's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to think of a word for religion.
Theocracy.
Theocratic mutation. Find a large enough vessel that is bird-shaped, scarred up into pieces, and put it into your religion. I know Fui has some spare ones littering the area. If I were to just pick an example completely at random, impartially out of the top of my head.
So find
Several of Fui's children you could just be used as resources for this project. Just completely impromptu, off the cuff. Without malice or intent behind it. Just thinking about it.
Would it be convenient that breaker on the break is also flying?
that would work, I think. Give it a try anyway. Creation is hard.
Just breathes in and out. In and out. Goes back to hammering a little harder those horns.
So yeah, a little bit
Eventually it becomes like a series of constellations. Like little tiny stars that are glowing that are interlinked by gossamer threads, and just picks up the scaffold of it and kind of just puts it into the sky and starts moving them around in different shapes. Like, he puts them in front of him a little far away. When he lets go, they're constellations in the sky, and he's just moving them.
Nice.
Really foolish of Fui to leave these just lying around where anyone can get their hands on them. But, you know, I guess she has enough to go around.
Well, thank you for the advice.
You're welcome. You know, you can just drop by any time just to say hi. Don't bring mortals there.
Definitely
Unsatisfying.
bring ones.
They're disloyal.
Okay, so after a while we depart.
Yep. Yeah, you hang out with Foss for a few hours.
Yeah. It's creepy, weird, and an interesting experience.
You have anything to say, Mantiel, to God?
Nope.
After we depart, well, that was interesting.
Alright, on the airship back. He seemed really nice.
Yes. It's very direct.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, very regal for an archdivinity. Humble, too.
Lothar's like, what?
I mean, he said that the models seem differently, right? What we see is different. He was quite nice.
Explains why anyone tolerated him early on.
Just a down-to-earth guy. Just talking facts and stuff.
He is interesting to listen to. He has made... It seems that he's made countless mistakes, but not learned from them.
He never will. That's his curse. That's his existence.
But he still has created tremendous things.
The iconoclasts are tremendous.
Well, I mean things like forging steel, stars, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Constellation's gonna be great.
Many creatures in existence have created tremendous things. That doesn't necessarily make them good.
And that's his whole philosophy. It doesn't matter the type of emotion you leave in the world, as long as the type of creativity, discovery, and infrastructure you leave behind.
No, I agree with you. It does not mean that. There is a difference between. I might meet a powerful warrior who doesn't care for ideas of consent or justice or compassion. I would respect his prowess, but I would not consider him good. I have the same respect for the creation of what his ability to create.
Have you ever considered the wings not being organic, but based on the very faith and love that people pour into you? Kind of a symbol, a focal point of their faith. Truly a sign of their true devotion to you.
But I don't seek their true devotion to me specifically. I seek it to their improvement of themselves.
Why not? It's your lifeblood. Even if you don't seek it in a selfish way, everyone wants to be loved.
I'll consider your words.
I mean, what is more of a symbol? Feathery wings, as any creature has, or those so devoted to you, so made of their love for you that there's nothing like them anywhere else.
I think there's a failure to understand. I don't think that there's nothing like them anywhere else is automatically has little interest to me.
Very well. You are a man of the people, I suppose.
But I will consider this change, but yes, this is a way we can do things that does not indebt me to magical or involve throwing my followers off a cliff.
Oh yes, I would definitely not recommend that.
Well, I guess let's go break the breaker.
Is that what you want to do next?
Well, it's that or the wedding thing.
Wedding thing. Wedding thing.
Wait, what wedding?
He's talking about the brochure.
Oh, oh, yes.
Remember the brochure?
Yeah.
You do remember.
Well, it's awfully quiet here.
Well, then I guess we're taking the breakers. Yes, no. What do you guys vote for?
Breaker.
Vote to be declared.
No, I don't care either way.
Breakers this.
Breaker's fine.
What do we know about it?
We got the info dump from Manticorp. Hello, info dump. Explain.
This is the breaker of passion, the one true good breaker
Oh, it's
in all creation.
It's a owl monster that's been hunting and causing trouble in the area and pushing back against their expansion.
Aha, see? Fine, you can use that.
Alright, so it has owls, so
Bird.
yeah, I'm gonna bird up and see if anyone knows about this, any of the birds know about
That bird.
that bird.
The
Big
Wise
bird.
Destroyer is its name. It hypnotizes people with its giant spotlight, melting eyes, and whatever it flies over grows old and dies of age.
That sounds like something I'm completely immune to in every way.
I know, right?
Sounds like time is involved.
I'm gonna go and cherry tap it. I guess.
Cherry tap, like a fucking fighting game.
So what about its servitors and actions? Like, what kind of patterns does it? Does it like go around enslaving people? Does it just fight the new
It
people?
flies from perch to perch with its like cult that it comes with, and they just like plunder knowledge and lore and time from people.
And time from people.
Yeah, it takes their youth and redistributes it to its cult.
Okay.
They're dicks,
They're dicks.
right? I'm gonna pause. All right, we're back. So you guys are gonna seek out this breaker. What was its name?
No idea.
The wise
Giant owl.
warrior.
Yes.
There it is.
Then look into me for information.
Yeah, I was doing that. You saw it happening. I don't remember what I
You
was
thought I was testing you. No, I just had no idea. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty shameless about it.
That's fine. We understand.
It's too much to keep straight in my head. So, there's information on where it usually hangs out around. It's south, near that mountain range where the kind of winter gives way a bit. It's closer to the Elven Forest that you'd be comfortable with. So southeast. Yeah. Deep forests and large like canopies, cliffs that have that weird kind of like half yawning overhang and stuff, like just in the middle of like plains and valleys.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they sent you. How are you getting there? Furious Kitten?
Yep.
Furious Kitten most of the way, and then we'll fly the rest of the way. Because this is
Yeah,
a big
that's
flying
sensible.
breaker.
We'd also,
tear the ship apart.
and we don't want the entire crew to be aged.
Yeah.
Turn to old people and die.
I guess my broodlings will be much of help.
I mean, how long do they live? Maybe it'll age them past,
I mean, it's a flying enemy. They don't have wings yet.
throw them.
There's so many.
Are you prepping your dispel ability?
I think it's.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's still equipped, actually, so I don't even need to spend Dominion for that.
Effort.
Whoops. Just pause real quick. Okay, you're going breaker hunting. We are now back. So, valley, cliffs, overhangs, owls, the whole thing. You guys are flying with magic right now, with effort gifts.
Yes, using the one that lets 6 people fly.
Perfect. Who are you bringing with you into this conflict?
2, 3, 4. We have 2 slots. I guess Blodo wanted to go in to kill some
I
stuff.
mean, they wanted to come, but are they just going to get shredded?
Maybe.
I mean, we already invited her to come. It would be rude to,
Tell her
Hell
no.
no.
Yeah, I guess we'll bring Lodok.
And then one more. Aceryn, Jan.
TikTok, what's the decision game?
Let's bring an Acer.
I'm Acer, and
Cast 1 useful spell.
it's me, Acer and Faye. Alright. So yeah, you head down to the valley. You're hunting breaker. The trees here are large and old and twisted. Some of them are partially petrified. They're boreal, like they're pine trees. They're big and tall and stuff. And there's vines and there's a lot of aged stuff around here. It looks like this place is like prehistoric.
Okay.
I mean, that's fitting for the time.
Yeah. So, what signs are you looking for to track this breaker?
Oh, forget tracking. We're gonna do this the best way. I'm gonna use a gift for an effort for a day, and I'm going to take a little time, and I'm gonna summon a metric shit ton of birds, because that is the solution to everything.
You're going to spend like 10 minutes to do it?
Yeah.
Alright. A vast or a large mob of birds shows up. Birds, 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 birds.
Hi, does anyone know where the Wise Destroyer is? Caw, caw, caw.
Oh my god. So yeah, birds are just above you, flying around, dropping like feathers and stuff all around. They start talking back. A lot of it's no. Some of it's like, oh yeah, he's over there fighting.
Oh, sounds good.
We fly on there.
You head over there. But it looks like, is this how this really goes down? You just scream at birds all day?
What's this wee you're talking about?
I mean, he's the bird person. So.
There is a lot of screaming at birds that goes on, yes.
I see. Alright. I just had never imagined. Alright. Yeah, over a valley into a vale. There is, large overgrown foliage and stuff, and a bog. What looks like structures of sorts that have been like covered in petrified wood and stuff. And yeah, there's this big owl swooping down with its large spotlight eyes, leaving like large swaths of like aged, cracked, dead earth wherever it flies around.
Yeah, okay, that thing seems like the thing to kill.
There's like swarms of owls with it, and there's people that are like gliding in like, like feather gliders and stuff. There's just stuff going on.
What's it fighting?
The ground, it looks like, it's just shooting its crazy eyes at the ground.
It's a little disconcerting.
Well, it might be just raiding this village. This village might be a Manticore settlement, but we don't know.
The sky fought against the earth. Well, I guess let's murder it. That's what we're here for.
So what kind of enemies are we looking at in terms of numbers and...
Vast mob of birds.
Of course.
That have been like enhanced by it, so they're a little beefier than usual. Vast mob of elite warriors that are flying due to its machinations.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have a lieutenant or two in there somewhere.
Okay, so Legion's Bane, and Punching.
Legion's Bane won't work on the birds, they've been modified.
Ah.
Higher
Fine.
than normal hit die.
They're not lesser foes.
Wow,
So
wait, what level are you?
they have to be 2 hit dice or less. So they have to be half of my level.
They are not.
Well, then I guess I'll just do Breath of Death.
Yeah, you should do that. That'd be really great. That's really good. I endorse that.
Oh, there's a twist there.
Yeah, just a slight twist. I'm not trying to fucking trick you or trip you up. It's just, they're beefier.
Oh, that's fine, that's fine.
That's all. You can still probably destroy all of them. How do you guys want to start this? It's swooping around. Bwaaang! Leaving behind, time holes wherever it goes. That's what was going on. Yeah, I remember. Forgotten what was going on for the last 15 minutes, and then I remembered.
I think the birds are going to probably, just because they're a bit slower than the rest of us, are going to hit last.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want.
So I guess what? Lothar goes first with his 9 attacks against the bird, and
He's going to go after, he's going after the Wise Destroyer because he goes first, and that's kind of the things he does. So
Sure.
burn me. Okay, so this one I'm down. I'm down 1 for the day for the summoning a crap ton of birds.
Yep.
I'm down 1 for the commit for
Yeah.
everyone actively there. 1 for...
This is very important as you're a god of the sky.
Yep.
This area is covered in rainbows. Rainbows are universally a sign of the end of the world. There are rainbows all around this valley, and they look hungry.
That's good to know.
1 for the day for the miracle, 1 just committed.
Throwing that
for
out there
that.
for you.
1 for the
You're
day
sky
for
god. There are
attacking the
rainbows
bird.
everywhere.
1 for just
stripping
seeing
around
for
here. Some of
getting
them are
the first
sun
attack
dogs.
before anyone else can.
Perfect circle rainbows. And they're just crisscrossing this valley, and they have a hungry look to them.
Alright, so... what's this AC?
Oh, the sky bird monster? Oh yeah, it's in the battle sheet. What is the AC, Pete?
yeah, 3.
3. There you go.
Reroll. 3 hits. Reroll.
Oh, I guess this would matter for
Oh, that's
you too, because you're the knowing guy.
Reroll.
There are rainbows everywhere. Like, you don't really notice them because
That's fine.
why would you? But there are rainbows everywhere. And you're like,
Roll.
Does that mean something different to me than it does to
You have the context Mattel doesn't, because Mattel has the cultural context of rainbows are bad and are a sign of the end of the world. Rainbows are generally a sign of Hellboard.
Oh.
Specifically the rainbow.
Huh.
It's a given Christian name.
9 points of damage.
To the breaker?
Yeah.
Jesus Lord, that's a lot of damage in one hit.
Well, 3 hits, actually.
And 3 hits. Oh, that's not a lot for 3 hits. Step up your game. Alright, it takes 9 damage. It's making hooting sounds, and its beak opens up into like a vortex of stars that sprays out time acid. And yeah, you just... What do you do? It's flying around.
Describe it.
Okay.
Mothballs coming out of its wings.
Yeah, I'm just trying, like, head straight in with this, backed up by this huge amounts of bird, dodges through there, kind of like, and then when it gets close, just starts raking up and down the inside wing.
Do you want to blood like water your birds to do some straight damage to other mobs?
Yeah, that seemed like a good move.
Cool.
2d8.
1 and 0.
1 and 0.
Or 3 to mobs, I guess.
Yes. Yes.
Also
That's right.
Frey.
Yes, you're Walter Phrase.
So you're afraid.
I can, when I'm in combat with a giant bird.
So you're afraid.
Really?
I don't think so.
No, you totally can. Unless there's a rule that says you can't fray, you can always fray.
Fray does not work against greater foes unless you're the gift.
But
No,
there's
you're not
mobs
fraying
over
the
here.
bird,
there
you're
are
fraying the mobs.
Mobs.
Oh, okay. They're close enough to the thing?
Yeah, totally.
No thanks. Okay. I guess I'll just do my Breath of Death. Might as well end this. To all the mobs in the area. That's 4, 1, 1, 6. Let me just... 4, 1, 6, so that's 12, 36 damage to mobs, 36, and 1, 2, and 3 damage to normal things. There we go.
How much damage was that to the mobs?
36.
Oh my actual Christ. Yeah, sure. Alright, I'll give it to you. Yeah, the bird swarm is gone. It was already injured.
Okay.
So yeah, oh, shrapnel! A lot of these birds just detonate from the heat and damage, and then it's just a bloody rain.
I'm just imagining it's making ack kind of noises.
Yeah, a lot of those humans, oh man, elite warriors, 36, they're down to like 10 hit die, the whole swarm. It's just 10 hit die, like people are dropping, bodies are hitting the floor, they're just scorching the ground in blood.
And 2 more damage to that mob from my fray.
Okay, just 8 of 8 hit die that.
And you did how much to the breaker?
3.
You know what really should be playing? Aces High.
No. I refuse. Je refuse. Alright, Vampire God and Freedom God. Also Dance God.
Fury of the Heavens?
Fury of the
Smite
goddamn
for
heavens. You piece of shit. It's amazing.
Party mistake for half.
Alright, breaker time, breaker time. Fury of the heavens is happening now. It's the best gift in the game. Where the fuck are your saves? 5 plus. It makes it. So it takes 2. 2 damage to the breaker.
Yes.
Woo! Burning its back and stuff.
Alright, since I'm not necessarily combat-y,
Oh, Frey.
Yeah, right. 4 is
1. 1 damage to the mob.
1 damage to the mob.
Alright, so it sounds what? 7?
Yeah.
Alright. Vampire.
7. You guys do a lot of damage, and you'll continue doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
The Marquis is going to actually fly down to the forest floor and try to figure out these rainbows, because that seems ominous and dangerous. Like, I want to know if we're, like, getting involved in something that's going to be a trap.
Well, it's
Alright.
fighting something.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we
So
kill the rainbows as well?
they're rainbows. They're
I mean, maybe they're causing the end of the world. You never know.
so he's going to fly down there and try to figure out what the source is or what it's fighting exactly.
Alright, well, as soon as you get to the floor where the rainbows are, because there are rainbows down here, like, the tails of them are in the ground and stuff, and, like, there's a weird oil pattern shimmer kind of everywhere, almost like a fog, but it's like, you know in old 3D video games where they would make the fog texture or the water texture a single, like, two-dimensional plane that's transparent?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a primitive shape?
Yeah.
That's what it is, but it's like rainbow, like, kind of going across, like, kind of like in old Doom games and stuff. Or like old.
Or they have like a single like backdrop shot.
Yeah, but it's like on the ground and stuff, and it's like skitzing out and whatnot, and it's all rainbowy, and it's only like a 3% transparency.
Okay.
And like the bodies that are falling here in the plant and the foliage, like the bodies of the dead guys fall, and like they start to sink into the foliage, and the foliage goes through them, and all of a sudden the foliage starts taking on meat textures and have veins and arteries in them, and the bodies are starting to get like leafy rib cages and stuff. The flowers nearby are growing teeth out of their like petals and whatnot, and like the center thing's like an eyeball, and the stalks are, you know, veins and arteries.
So plants are becoming meaty and meat's becoming leafy.
Things are mixing, like rocks are taking on like bone structures, bone stuff is taking on like musical instrument structures.
Okay, so chaos.
Yeah, very specific kind.
Okay. Nothing I know too much about.
It's a hell orb. It's called the rainbow.
Do I know?
This is what it does.
You shouldn't be feeding it, basically.
Yeah, it creates rainbow zones. If you see a rainbow, that's one of its zones where it's creating instability and kind of mixy, sploshy prism areas.
Can you destroy those or stop those?
Yeah, you gotta burn them out or destroy them or deprive them of materials, or over time, they go away.
I mean, if they're plant monsters, leave it to me. You haven't seen nothing yet.
Okay, I'm gonna create a field of danger around me.
What word?
Shit. Which one? Technology? Like
Okay, you got something there.
a Tesla field, kind of like electricity arcing that zaps everything that gets close and reduces it to nothing.
Alright, a degradation field.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, entropy pylons.
So that everything that falls gets destroyed before it reaches the ground.
Sure.
So that's effort for the
That's
day.
like what, your level in damage, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Every turn?
Yeah, after the first
Yeah,
day.
so starting on the enemy's turn next turn, you'll start doing 4 straight damage every single turn.
Okay, excellent. I guess it's also probably destroying the ground underneath it, so kind of...
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Alright, that's your turn, Matael.
I
just-
did my turn.
And you're
I bolted.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I have an action for my regular.
Do it.
So
Punch it, kill it.
get the hell out of it. Hit.
Don't think it, don't say it.
Oh, that's wrong one. Hit. That is gonna be a reroll. Hit. Reroll. Reroll. That is 2, 4, 8.
That's Dead Breaker.
Oh, you killed it?
Yeah. Almost solo.
You almost Han Soloed it. It didn't have a perfect defense, and it didn't have any. It was already spent a lot of its effort in the fight.
Now there's just one small problem.
Helllord.
All right, yeah, you gut into it, and it just, you know, drops like an owl, like a bag of bone and feathers, thud into the ground.
Marquis kind of sees that coming. He's like, fuck.
I guess blood organization fake and get to the other flying people.
So...
He would have stopped that, but he didn't really know what's going on, so...
Yeah, that's fair. Not a lot of people do. It's a weird thing to pick up on. So the fight ends really quick. You guys come in and just kill this breaker.
Well, that was easy.
Oh, we're not done yet. I would get down here with me.
Lower.
Kind of snaps his fingers and points downwards. What we're looking at is a Lord of Hell.
Oh, which one?
The Rainbow.
Oh, what's his deal?
He's a rainbow.
Oh, so we should kill the rainbows.
Well, whatever. It warps reality. It makes law weird. It's chaos. We need to destroy as much of this area as possible. Salt the earth kind of deal.
Is the Lord itself actually present? Like, should we be fighting it?
No, it's a manifestation of it. I don't think he wouldn't appear here. He's in hell.
Should we move this thing? What's left of the Wise Destroyer?
Oh, yes, probably. Otherwise, it'll start mixing it with the rest of the...
I'm going to make a miracle for the day under fertility, withering curse, with 40 acres of plants and instantly die, and the land is cursed to uselessness for the generations. So, yeah, all the plants thing, I guess.
Yeah, everything snuffs out.
Yeah.
Alright. Plant and vegetative matter is just gone. And it turns to sand.
Handy.
1d12 damage per level to plant things.
We'll try and pick up and move
AoE.
this, the Wise Destroyer, I guess.
You hear giggling coming from the ground. Like one of the rocks nearby starts to like open up into an eye, and the eye is made of like coral and skeletal material, like to copy an eye.
Yeah. I'll try and pick this thing up so we don't waste it and have it be sucked up by this thing.
I'm trying to do that.
I'm gonna try and
Pick it up.
pick up the giant,
The breaker body?
the regular one.
Alright, you can get out of here. You can get out of here just fine.
So what, do we leave now or deal with this?
Are there still rainbows around?
Oh yeah, they're all over. One of them is like arcing over and is slowly kind of changing, like it vanishes a bit and then it reappears and it's like on the ground again, and vanishing and reappearing, until eventually it stabs into the eye and it's just kind of sliding in like a parasite worm.
So this area has already been kind of poisoned by...
It's been hit by a blight zone, by
Yeah.
a prism zone.
Yeah, but now it won't be able to spread as easily, I guess, because it doesn't have as much to feed off of.
Yeah, there's a lot less material here for it to mix up and jumble without dead people or living things can't take their ideas and make them real and, you know, mix them up and stuff.
Given we're all big idea people...
Did we get rid of the bodies, the other ones, or are they still there?
Who wants to get rid of the bodies? Like, Kevin's throwing out that damage field, so they're evaporating really quick.
Oh
but-
yeah, we'll just, I guess that'll handle it.
Yes.
Disperse the birds
Get them out of here.
and give them a warning to stay away from this area. Not that
I
they'll
mean,
remember.
birds, what birds? They have all been murdered. There's some people that remain.
His battle group birds.
Yeah.
Wait, is there anyone in here in those houses?
Oh no, they're long dead. They're part of the houses. The houses are basically them now.
Can we get their souls out, or?
Oh, those souls have been mixed in with the land and stuff, and it's making the land alive.
Yeah, you don't want those.
This is an intelligent Earth situation. And it's going weird.
I think it's best to mark the edges of this area with whatever it is you use to keep other people away. Bones on sticks.
Momentary pause.
Oh, sure, one sec.
Out of character.
Alright, we're back. So, you're doing a dance of destruction, Matael.
Yep, I'm setting up a ruinously destructive vibration that destroys all solid buildings and structures of my choice within 400 feet.
Earthquake dance. Alright, Matael lays down a power slam, and the earth falls into a graveyard jam as this place is leveled and destroyed and disintegrated and ruined by all your collective miracles.
Yep.
Some of the rainbows just kind of vanish. Some of them start like making a giggling sound that vibrates through the various color bands. That sundog, the round rainbow, it kind of folds up into a butterfly shape and kind of flaps away over the horizon.
Yeah, thoroughly solved.
Yeah, that about solves it.
Why is it that the worst things tend to be like incredibly cheery looking?
It's just a fact of reality, really.
I mean, have you seen those tank vampires? Were they that cheery looking?
Yeah, there's a
But
lot of
they're not the
really
worst. They're
terrible
not
things
even
that
under
are-
the top 50 of the worst.
Well, let's report this to Manticore. Let's come back home. I think we can call it for the day.
Alright.
Carve the bits.
Slay the Breaker. Instead, it was grievously injured and you guys were fighting it like something. It looked like it had a rough time. The inside of it is like calcified and like all mixed up. Like all of its organs and meat and stuff had slurried around. Like some of its bones were full of like brain material and some of its brain had like
I'll ask a couple
like
of birds
blood
as we
muscles
go.
in it.
What was it? What was the bird fighting? Do you know?
The ground.
This guy was fighting the ground,
I see.
as is tradition.
It straight up was just attacking this blight zone.
Okay.
Weird things happen in the Epistle. So, we'll end it there. I was Devin,
Tyler?
Kevin.
Peter.
Mark?
and this is sponsored by Nobody. Signing off.